You're watching Knicks basketball on MSG Network, now available in high-definition television.
With a hockey player's mentality, Charles Oakley played the game of basketball in New York, and in a way we'll all remember. He played like he really cared and not about saving his body. All he wanted was to get the basketball. He dove into tables, millionaires in the front row, and over the years got rebounds not many his size could get. Charles Oakley gave the Knicks a decade of hard play, and in those years, there was many a night when he was in the middle of the dramatic games that occurred. Charles Oakley loved everything about being a Knick, but in an effort to get younger, they made him a Toronto Raptor. So in purple, the Oakman returns next. For the first time in his career, Charles Oakley will be seen in HD TV because these days around here, that's the way MSG does it. It is the Knicks looking for a fourth win in a row, and Charles Oakley definitely knowing he will make an impact tonight. A little subdued in a gray suit, but definitely stylish as he always was. For the first time in 10 years, Charles Oakley will make a right instead of a left, which would take him to the Knicks locker room. Good evening, everybody. I'm Al Troutwig. To the Knicks, the most important thing is to win the basketball game. To the fans, the most important thing may be to let Charles Oakley know how important and how much a part of their lives he was for 10 years wearing the uniform of the team that they loved. Now, it's tough to love that uniform with the dinosaur on it, but Charles Oakley will wear it with pride tonight at Madison Square Garden. He's been smiling a lot and waving to fans who have been yelling vocally, and there will no doubt be an ovation in a moment. Let's go to Mike Breen with his stylish partner himself, Walt Clyde Frazier.
Al, I think perhaps the stat that epitomizes Oakley the most, 13 years in the league, 13 postseason appearances. Certainly he played on a lot of good teams, but the reason those teams are so good was because Charles Oakley was a big part of that. That's going to end because the Raptors will not make the playoffs. That would be a shock if it happened. However, they don't care, the Raptor organization, because they got Oakley for that reason. The numbers won't blow you away, Clyde, but it's the intangibles that made Charles Oakley such a good player, and that's what's working in Toronto for him right now.
Right. Also, he brings a measure of intimidation and defensive tenacity that the Knicks are still missing sometimes on the defense. So Oakley, a good perimeter shooter, also knows how to move without the ball, but his forte is intimidating people, creating havoc on the defense. He possesses an indomitable spirit, and he was one of my favorite Knicks because of that.
There you see the numbers. Again, they won't blow you away, but Charles Oakley is the ultimate intangibles player and always a terrific team defender as well, and he brings experience to a very young Raptors team. Of course, Oakley is going to be very emotional. He has said that. He's upset with the trade. But the question is, how will his former teammates react? It's not going to be easy for them because Oakley was such a presence. We talked to Knicks about his return.
We wish he was still on our team. Well, he's with Toronto now, and we hope they lose.
I'm an Oakley fan, and, I hope he had the greatest game he ever had, but I definitely hope we win.
It's going to be real strange. It's going to be real strange to see him on the opposite bench, the opposite locker room, different uniform, new haircut. It's going to be weird, but I know he's going to come in fired up.
Again, certain players returning, it's not that big a deal because he was such a presence on this team, it has to have an effect. What's going to go through the minds of the Knicks players tonight facing Oakley?
Well, the other Knicks players do not want Oakley to play his normal game. They do not want to be embarrassed with Oakley coming back, having a good game. So they're going to be very cognizant of denying him what he does best, creating havoc on the defense and keeping him away from the offensive glass.
And of course, for the Knicks, they have to get past that. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and this is certainly a game they should win. They have to put aside the Charles Oakley situation and play some basketball. Starting lineups next.
Do I like to shop? Oh, yes. How you doing? Franks and beans?
Aisle 5.
Beans and Franks?
Aisle 7.
Hi. Hi.
Fat free. Nothing but carb. Check this out.
You are
1 millionth shopper.
Use your card at supermarkets and drugstores and get double membership rewards points.
I love this card.
Hertz Freedom Rates, only $25.99 a day in California and Florida, with the freedom to pick up and drop off anytime. Just keep it over a Saturday night. Hertz will provide the great rates.
Can we go back to the room now?
The rest is up to you. Hertz Freedom Rates, only $25.99 a day in California and Florida, with the freedom to pick up and drop off anytime. Just keep it over a Saturday night. Hertz will provide the great rates. The rest is up to you.
A lot of financial companies can make you feel awfully small and unimportant.
I was hoping to get some help.
Down the hall. Ask her. Do you have an appointment? Can you come back later? Ask her.
Excuse me, I was wondering. I'm sorry, I can't help you.
But you won't feel that way talking to a MetLife financial professional. You'll get personal face-to-face advice and information on mutual funds and annuities, as well as insurance. And no matter what size your portfolio, you'll have a friend for life. Get Met. It pays.
Digital rocks at the Wiz Digital Presidential Sale. All the latest technology and digital entertainment is yours for the taking. Right here, right now. Get digital at the Wiz. Get an RCA 35-inch TV with 2-tuner picture-in-picture, only $799 at the Wiz Digital Presidential Sale. Get digital at the Wiz. Get digital with a Yamaha RXV 490 receiver, 240 watts of Dolby Pro Logic surround sound. Last call, $188. Get digital at the Wiz.
Dodge Caravan. Dodge Intrepid. Come elevate your standard of driving.
Time for our starting lineups now.
Now for the Raptors starting lineup. At guard at 6'6" from Pepperdine, number 13, Doug Christie. At guard at 6'5" from Villanova, number 20, Alvin Williams. At forward at 6'6" from North Carolina, number 15, Vince Carter. At forward at 6'9" from Virginia Union, number 34, Charles Oakley. And at center at 7 feet from Michigan State, number 42, Kevin Willis. The coaches for your New York Knicks are Jeff Van Gundy, Don Chaney, Brenda Malone, Jeff Nix, Tom Thibodeau, and Greg Brittenham. The trainers are Mike Saunders and Saeed Hamdan.
Hey, taxi! Taxi, I'm late for the Knicks game, come on! Thank you. Hey, man, how you doing? I don't want to miss the Knicks game. All right, come on. Go, New York. Go, New York. Go. Go, New York. Go, New York. Go.
And now, please welcome your New York Knicks. At guard at 6'6" from Tennessee, number 20, Alvin Houston. At guard at 6'2" from Florida State, number 21, Charlie Ward. At forward at 6'7" from the UNLV, number 2, flight captain Larry Johnson. At forward at 6'9" from Texas Christian, number 40, Kurt Thomas. And at center at 7 feet from Georgetown, number 33, flight captain, Patrick Ewing.
The 267th consecutive sellout And pretty much everyone on their feet when Charles Oakley's name was announced in the starting Raptor lineup. And that ovation would have gone on, Clyde, for a long time if the Knicks starting lineups weren't quickly announced afterwards, because the fans really gave him a nice welcome.
Right, and it's well deserved because the fans appreciated his style of play. Reckless abandon was the Oak Man.
The one thing you can say about Charles Oakley, every single game he came to play and played as hard as anyone else on the floor. And the fans really embraced that throughout his 10 years here in New York. You could, again, because his type of blue-collar image that he had on the floor, without question, one of the most popular New York athletes, not just basketball, in all sports over the past decade.
Right, because they could really relate to Oakley. Not a good perimeter shooter, not an extremely high jumper, but very efficient on the glass and, of course, intimidating on the defense. So the Knicks beat this team 3-1 last season, folks, but they lost to the Raptors here at Madison Square Garden, Mike, and that's what the Knicks must get back to, that home court dominance that they possessed in the past. Only 28-13 were the Knicks here last season.
And you figure with a 50-game schedule, 25 home games, you want to be at least 20-5 in a home. And here you see is Oakley getting ready, not walking around shaking hands early to start. Now saying, although he did exchange pleasantries with a lot of people, both players, coaches, and people who work here at the Garden throughout his stops here prior to the game.
Oakley must guard against being overzealous, coming out, committing early fouls, being in early foul woes, and taking ill-advised shots to try to impress the crowd as well as his former teammates.
Ewing and Oakley, no byplay. Again, those two, tremendous amount of respect, but never socialized off the court. Never seen, or at least Oakley always seemed to throw some barbs once in a while at Ewing. But there was tremendous respect between the two. And we're set to go. Charlie Ward having a smile with his former teammate. Ewing and Kevin Willis will jump at center court. And Charles Oakley gets a cheer. And he'll get cheers throughout the night for rebounds, for loose balls, for buckets. And the Knicks will just have to try and put that aside, get the emotion out of the way. Oakley, the first shot appropriately on the night, won't go. Ewing the rebound. Officials for tonight, Steve Javi, Jim Clark, and Gary Benson. A good crew on hand here at the Garden. Charlie Ward against Alvin Williams. Doug Christie on Allen Houston. Christie getting a hand up in his face. Kurt Thomas the offensive rebound.
Knicks averaging 47 pounds, so doing an excellent job on the glass.
Again, the Raptors are a very young team. They're 1-3. They won their opener on the road in Boston, but have dropped 3 in a row since. Butch Carter, the interim coach last year, now the permanent head coach.
Raptors giving up too many points, 95 points a game, must focus on the D.
Ewing double teamed, Oakley all over him outside Houston. Kurt Thomas down low, shooting over Oakley. And Thomas with his first field goal.
What Oakley was doing, he's the guy that's going to double team Ewing, and that time he had full position on Thomas. Thomas 8 feet away, draining the jumper.
And Clyde, you've said in your return, when you came back as a Cab, you take your first shot, you bang your first body, and you quickly forget about the emotion.
Right, you're into the game then. And the crowd is somewhat of a background now for Oakley, and I didn't think he should have taken that first shot. Normally, when I'm in a game, I never like to shoot the ball the first time that I touch it. I'm not into the flow of the game, so Oakley misfired on his first attempt. This time, Christie, former Knick as well, he's 6'6", 205, their top gun. See, they're averaging 16 points a game.
Foul on Larry Johnson, and that's his first. Christie has received the playing time that he's wanted in Toronto. He's put up some good numbers at both ends of the floor. One of the better steals men in the NBA. Third last year, second the year before. A little erratic, needs some consistency in his game.
Very charismatic, though, is Christie, and acrobatic, uncanny leaping ability.
Game tied at 2. Alvin Williams guarding Ward. Williams a good defender.
They have a mismatch now.
Johnson underneath and one. Larry Johnson with a chance for a three-point play. Nice entry pass from the perimeter. And Johnson with his first field goal.
Raptors switching too easily on that play. So here you see Williams, he's the guard at 6'5". LJ, no problem overwhelming him. And Carter was out on Ward, so that's why they're giving up 95 points a game.
Johnson hitting the free throw. Knicks lead at 5-2. That foul was on Williams.
I'm surprised that most of the young teams we've seen are not very aggressive on the defense.
This is a very athletic, quick team. Good offensive rebounding team, but as Clyde mentioned, they are not a strong defensive club.
Carter, that's the rookie. Christie quick with the three. Doug Christie from downtown, and that one Toronto win over the Knicks was courtesy of a Christie three-pointer in the final seconds.
He's only 25% from there, but draining that one.
He's had some strong games. He's also had an 0 for 10 from the field game this season.
Isolation again.
Thomas from outside. Kurt Thomas from about 18 feet away. His second field goal.
Carter not getting his hands up.
Charlie Ward on the steal.
Second on the team with 1 a game.
Houston pass dangerous, deflected by Oakley. Last touch by Thomas. And that's the type of play that Charles Oakley has always been all about. The intangibles. Doesn't get credited with the steal, but his hustle, his little deflection forces a turnover.
Right, you won't see that in the stat sheet other than a turnover, so you won't see Oakley's name. The Raptors, speaking of turnovers, folks, they average 20 a game, the Knicks 16.
Williams blocked from behind by Ward. Willis gets it, knocked out of bounds. And they're going to say it's Toronto ball. They are second in the NBA in that department, or should say second worst. Only the Celtics turn it over more per game than Toronto.
The league average is about 16 turnovers, so the Knicks are there.
Allen Houston on the deflection. Still Raptor ball, 10 on the shot clock.
So good effort by Allen overplaying the passing lane. In order to steal the ball, you can't be on your man, but you have midway between he and the passing lane.
Willis and Oakley, the two veterans brought in to help out the young team. And Willis throws it away. Carter went one way, and there's another turnover.
Willis averaging 3 turnovers a game.
Knicks with a 2-point lead early on. Knicks riding a 3-game winning streak.
And last season they had 1 4-game winning streak, so that was pretty erratic play by the Knicks.
Good defense from Christie to avoid a foul. Houston misfires. Here come the Raptors the other way.
Oakley averaging 8 pounds, second on the team.
Williams kicks it out. Oakley on the drive. Thomas shuts him off nicely. There's Carter, the rookie. Fight for the ball. Oakley almost with his first dive. I guess that's a half a dive. And Thomas has kind of taken over that role in some ways. Certainly not to the extent of Oakley.
Oakley hearing it from the crowd now for his tenacity. So the Knicks must protect the ball. That time a little lackluster in going after the carom.
That's a 2-pointer off the mark. Williams misfires. Ewing another rebound.
Raptors are ghastly shooting perimeter team, only 41%.
Shooting overall in the NBA has been down. That's to be expected. Defense ahead of the offense early. Again, with the lockout and the short preseason, Ewing can't hit. Williams pushing it up the other way.
Williams leads them in dishing with 5 a game. He must get into the paint to create easy opportunities.
Raptors just 1 of 4 with 2 turnovers, and Willis knocks down his first jumper.
They rejuvenated Kevin Willis. For a 7-footer, good range like Patrick Ewing.
Willis also in his 14th year in the league, another 36-year-old, Oakley 35.
That's why you have to wonder, Mike, where is this franchise going with Oakley and Willis as the main catalyst on the team?
Well, they say it's mainly to teach. Ewing pass, Thomas can't hold on, trying to get it back. And good second effort from Kurt Thomas. He's got 6 points already. 6 of the next 9 as he's 3 for 3 from the field.
Yeah, Oakley's teaching. He's playing 35 minutes a game, and Willis 33. So the young players are not getting much experience. Wallace is sitting on the bench for them. He had a good season last year. Seeing very little action this year.
Christie with a jumper puts it in. Yeah, they're learning more from watching. Oakley teaching by example, but really the number one way to learn is to be on the floor. Christie, by the way, with 7 of the 9 Raptor points. Houston, nice feed to Thomas, who got whacked in the head. Took one shot in the nose there, but it's deflected off his foot. It's Raptor ball.
Yeah, good interior D that time. They saw it coming, so Allen sort of telegraphed the pass.
Both teams with 2 turnovers. There's the shooting early on.
The Raptors cannon their perimeter shots, nothing on the interior.
Charlie Ward on the steal. Bad pass from Christie. And Ward able to convert down the other end. That's where Doug Christie has his problems. Again, he's a tremendous athlete with explosive score, but very erratic like a pass like that.
That was very ill-advised. But that's where the 20 turnovers come from. Poor decisions by the point guards.
Willis, quick move. Shot won't go. Almost had his own rebound. Thomas right there. Knicks leading 11-9, 6.5 remaining in the first.
Extraordinary passing last night for the Knicks. They need to get back to that, but see, now they're going one-on-one.
Blocked by Carter. Nice play by the rookie. Kurt Thomas, another jumper. Ewing the offensive rebound, but he lost it to Christie.
What happens when you play a lesser team, you have a tendency to look for your points. I think the Knicks are doing that now.
Oakley with the drive, blocked by Ewing. Coach Carter wanted a goaltend, but that one was clearly on the way up. Johnson against Christie. There's the double team, stripped by Doug Christie. Johnson getting it back. Tries to draw the foul and does. And Larry Johnson will shoot some free throws. First time out. Oakley upset with a non-call down the other end. Patrick Ewing with a rejection on his former teammate. Knicks lead by 2.
The Knicks head for Cleveland to battle the Cavs after MCS Cannon game night, Thursday on MSG.
Everyone is unique, and we like the things that make us different.
I have this dimple right here. I have an offbeat sense of humor.
It's my speed that sets me apart.
I don't believe anyone has more wrinkles than I do.
My style, it speaks for itself. But all women have one thing in common. We are all at risk for breast cancer. In the fight against breast cancer, you just can't do it alone. For more information, call 1-888-462-CURE.
A nation of evil lives among us, and only one can save us. It's open season on all Night Stalkers. Wesley Snipes, Stephen Dorff, Blade.
This month on DirecTV.
You know, I've heard a lot of motivational speeches in my life, but nothing quite like this. Make a career of humanity, and you will make a greater person of yourself, a greater nation of your country, and a finer world to live in. These are the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., whose accomplishments are an inspiration to us all.
Closed captioning brought to you by New York Marriott Marquis, Broadway's biggest hit. Jeff Van Gundy received some very high praise from Charles Oakley, as you heard on the MCS Knicks game night tonight. And Van Gundy with high praise for Oakley as well, and no wonder why in the 10th season such tough work. 6th all-time games played, 3rd in minutes played, 3rd in rebounds, and so many of the single-season offensive rebound marks for Charles Oakley.
And LJ, very vivacious last night with 12 points, 9 bounds. Asserted himself early on in this game, especially on the low post.
The trade of Oakley with a pretty big impact on Johnson. He was scheduled to start as the power forward this year, but with the injury to Latrell Sprewell, that's been changed momentarily. Kurt Thomas tips it back nicely. Knicks getting another second chance opportunity.
Yeah, Oakley did not box him out. Not the movement that we saw last night from the Knicks. More dribbling.
Ward with a pass to Ewing. Oakley on him. Ewing turns it over. Christie on the steal.
You do not want to make a cross-court pass. Good D by Christie along the baseline.
Certainly cross-court along the baseline. That's a dangerous pass. So many defenders. Knicks lead by 3. And a kick ball. They'll reset to 24. Chris Giles will come in for the first time.
Giles has been extraordinary this play. So he's among the leaders in steals, three-point accuracy, and doing a nice job of orchestrating for the Knicks.
He has been the spark off the bench that the Knicks were hoping. When John Starks traded to Golden State, they needed someone. See Larry Johnson sitting down.
The Knicks, the best D in the league against scoring, only allowing 36% field goal percentage. Right now, the Raptors at 37.
Kevin Willis dumps it in. That's the #1 stat in terms of telling how good a defensive team is. It's not points allowed, because if a team plays a slow down game, obviously they're going to give up less points. It's field goal percentage and how a team shoots against you. That's the best way to tell a defensive team.
Good continuity this time by the Knicks, moving the ball, moving themselves.
Ewing against Willis. Shot clock at 6 and an illegal defense first against the Raptors, so just a warning.
Like I mentioned, Mike, when we used to play the Cavaliers or some lower echelon team, the ball does not move. Everybody likes to get that ball looking for their points. because sometimes you play down to the competition, and Knicks have been vulnerable to that.
Charlie Ward sets it up. Ward with 9 assists, no turnovers in the game against the Pistons. Trying to get a little fancy. Oakley deflected it off his fingertips.
And see where he is. He's 25 feet on the perimeter trying to make an interior pass. So the Raptors will hear none of it. He's got to move the ball in the paint, at least be 15, 20 feet away to try to make that pass.
It's a difficult pass to get to your teammate. As Ewing gets it, they'll set it up again.
Especially when you have no continuity.
Ewing with the jumper. Ewing off the mark, fight for the rebound. Carter comes away. Ewing has still not gotten fully into the groove with his perimeter game. Oakley. Charles Oakley gets a nice ovation with his first field goal. The Raptors with their first lead.
Oakley among the leaders in his accuracy from the field, 53%.
He really developed into a solid 15 to 18-foot shooter. Thomas, the runner, one-handed, gets the roll. Kirk Thomas off to another quick start. 8 points for Thomas.
Not an aberration for him. Normally, he's the guy that's scoring early on in games for the Knicks. Again, a very sedate crowd at the Garden. Not a lot of hoopla going on other than the introduction by the Oak Man.
Christie, quick move on Childs. Tried to force it in, and Ewing with the foul. So Christie back to the line.
You mentioned his gymnastic moves. So Christie leads the team in free throws attempted. Also an excellent free throw shooter at 85%. So watch Christie 6'6", eluding Childs along the baseline. And Ewing the culprit, so you must guard against that baseline. Use that baseline as an extra man to deny penetration.
Christie's had actually, this shows you how the Raptors completely overhauled their roster. He's been on the team longer than any other player. As you see, Dennis Scott with an early entrance. Allen Houston will sit down.
The Raptors, an expansion franchise in '93, first draft choice they had was Damon Stoudemire, and Isaiah Thomas is then the president of basketball operations. So Damon went on to be Rookie of the Year, but now he's making his money out in Portland.
Might wonder why Houston went out so early. He played 41 minutes yesterday on the back-to-back. Jeff Van Gundy very watchful of minutes. Ewing, tough shot across the lane of Patrick Ewing with his first field goal. Knicks back up by 2.
It's good hustle and muscle by Ewing, but Ewing shooting 43% from the field. He's a career 53% shooter. I think primarily because he's forcing up some shots.
Alvin Williams pulls up over Ewing, and Williams knocks it down.
Nick guards not denying the penetration. Previously we saw Christie, this time Williams.
Game tied at 16, a little over 3 minutes remaining in the first. And just joining us, Charles Oakley received a nice ovation from the fans as Kurt Thomas knocks down another shot. 5 of 6 from the field, 10 points, 2 boards.
Only averaging 7 on the season this time. So now both teams into good fluidity on the offense, and now Oakley and ill-advised behind the back pass.
Those were the type of passes that sometimes drove Knick coaches wild. Oakley turns it over. Just under 3 remaining in the first, a 2-point Knick lead.
You could be a model. Now that's sexy.
I have a mission for you.
Who?
On March 5th,
Boldly go where no man has gone before.
their games are wicked.
Would you mind turning around?
I'm sorry, is she for real?
Their minds are ruthless.
Everybody does it. Nobody talks about it.
Their intentions are cruel.
We're destroying an innocent girl. You do realize that.
I'm aware.
Cruel intentions.
Ow! That's so romantic.
Rated R. Opens everywhere March 5th.
The web has more users in its first 5 years
than telephone did in the first 30.
A population
the size of the United Kingdom
joins the internet every 6 months. One day the internet will make long-distance calls.
The sing of the past.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Virtually all internet traffic travels across the systems of one company, Cisco Systems, empowering the internet generation.
Are you ready?
you remember when you're having good times with good friends, drink responsibly because friends know when to say when. A reminder from your friends at Budweiser. Getting him started early, Clyde.
Yep.
Meanwhile, so much talk about Marcus Camby and Charles Oakley. The new starting forward for the Knicks right now, starting forward, that is Kurt Thomas, and he's off to a terrific start.
He's been prospering in the paint. 53% shooter. So he's showing a lot of versatility in this game. This time he'll come along the baseline on Oakley. Oakley didn't get his hands up, too late. So Thomas, the previous game had 8 points early on and off to an auspicious beginning in this one.
There are similarities with Thomas and Oakley, both rugged players, both not afraid to bang inside. Thomas has probably a better shot inside. Oakley better from the perimeter. Oakley, because of his experience, a better defender. Ward for three. Charlie Ward from downtown. He continues to shoot well from three-point range as he's hit 10 of his last 16.
Among the leaders with 53%. It was his big three-pointer last night that propelled the Knicks to the win.
Knicks up by 5. Whistle away from the ball. It will go against Kurt Thomas.
Yeah, very blatant foul that time by Thomas, hugging and mugging the Oakman. Oakley trying to come over a screen. But Thomas should know Oakley's not a good player with his back to the basket, so even if he caught the ball, I don't think he's a bona fide threat from there.
That's where Thomas excels down low. He does have a good post-up game. Oakley never developed one.
They're featuring Christie, their top gun.
Willis underneath. Puts shot up, won't go, but a foul.
Willis second on the team in scoring. He's averaging 16 points. Their best rebounder with 11 per game.
And Kurt Thomas with his second foul. Willis will go there.
Had his best years with the Hawks. Had an all-star season there playing alongside Dominique Wilkins. That's why he was a good rebounder, Mike.
A lot of shots. So Willis to the free throw line. Marcus Camby will come in and Kurt Thomas will sit down with the 2 fouls. So the man that Charles Oakley was traded for.
Willis, a fashion designer, attended Michigan State, so he has his own line of clothes.
Just still strange to see him in that uniform. Certain players just don't fit. Second one no good. Camby tips it, but Oakley knocks it out to Christie. Just over 2 minutes remaining in the first. Alvin Williams, little fake. Wild shot. Kevin Willis, the offensive rebound. Way off. Ewing altered the shot. Ward comes away with it. Good hands from Dennis Scott to knock it loose. Scott sets up for 3. Won't go. Willis the rebound.
3D is yet to find the range with his jumper.
Scott has struggled from three-point range, now just 1 of 8 on the season. Oakley on the drive against Camby, puts it in, and a foul.
And that's the tenacity of Oakley right away, looking to exploit Camby. So no one help that time from the strong side.
He certainly will enjoy these type of plays, calling for the ball, as you see.
See, Oakley's on the weak side. Look at the players. Ward is there. All the guys. Charles is there. No one really helped out on that penetration by the Oakman.
As soon as Camby was brought in, Oakley took him right to the hole. There's no question, Clyde, as you hear the comments from Oakley over the past couple of weeks, that he's really hurt by the trade. He can't look at it as a business thing. He's personally hurt by it. And I think as much as like playing for the Knicks, he just loved being in New York City as he completes a three-point play.
Yeah, the ambiances. I mean, he was a bachelor, so he was one of the most eligible Knicks, always out and about on the town. So hasn't gone out in Toronto.
Childs, good ball movement. Scott, shot clock down to 9. Childs tied up. Charlie Ward, again, good ball movement. Scott, 3 won't go again. Willis the rebound. Good hustle from Doug Christie to take a run out at the shooter. Oakley lines up the jumper. Camby the rebound. Just over a minute left here in the first.
Finally got a pace in the game now. A little transition.
Childs with a wild spin move. Perhaps should have shot that one. Scott kicks it out. Camby.
Knicks overpassing.
Childs somehow gets underneath but can't put it in, and Childs commits the foul on Oakley and falls to the floor.
The Knicks in the penalty, so the Oakman will capitalize. That time the Knicks very tentative and apprehensive. Childs had a shot, he passed it up. And now Childs under the baseline. He should have taken another dribble, and he would have had a better angle on the hoop. See him? He's right behind the backboard on that shot. Needed one more dribble to get it underneath. And then the ill-advised foul. We've seen that throughout his career here, Charles.
Knicks overall are committing a lot of silly fouls, putting their opponents on the free throw line. They've done a good job defending when teams are shooting field goals. But the free throws, teams taking too many free throw attempts against them, although that wasn't the case yesterday.
Last year, Oakley, an 85% shooter, his best as a Knick from the line. This season, he's made 7 out of 7, counting that one.
Yeah, he's really improved on his free throw shooting over 80% each of the last 3 years. As D. Brown checks in. Brown has played very well for the Raptors. Alvin Williams sits down.
Brown, the most prodigious player off the bench, averaging 13 points. The former Celtic and slam dunk champion. Gained a lot of weight, folks. He used to be a string bean, now around 200 pounds. What's heavier than that, Mike, with the Celtics?
Yep. 6-0 run now by the Raptors. You saw Larry Johnson with the ice on the knee. He's been experiencing some tendonitis. A lot of players going through that. Knicks down by 1 again. And a foul on the double team called against the Raptors. It's only the first foul in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, they had one to give, but I think they could have gotten better use of it than that. Normally, if you have a foul to give, you try to go for a steal and not just bail Ewing out like that.
Christie's first. Ewing wants the ball. Ewing against Michael Stewart, trying to draw the foul, does not. Shot won't go. Christie the rebound. Ewing now 1 of 4 from the field. Both teams shooting 47% here in the first quarter. It's about a 2.5-second differential between the game and shot clock.
Look for Oakley to come up and set a high screen here, a high pick, try to free up Brown. And then they look for the guards, Christie along the baseline.
Brown with the move. Wild shot from 3. Won't go. Canby the rebound. Childs will hold on to it. And there's the buzzer ending the first quarter. So Charles Oakley with 7 points and 3 rebounds for the Raptors. Tracy McGrady, the 19-year-old. Knicks trailing by 1.
Sorry. Not enough. No, still short.
For the great taste that will fill you up and never let you down.
Paper or plastic? Paper.
Make it a Bud Light.
Guys, need a receipt?
Do I like to shop? Oh, yes. How you doing? Franks and beans? Aisle 5. Beans and Franks? Aisle 7.
Hi. Hi.
Fat-free. Nothing but carb. Check this out. 1 millionth shopper.
Use your card at supermarkets and drugstores and get double membership rewards points.
I love this card.
Last year at Foxwoods, we paid out more winners than any other casino, including Eve Wrigley, who won $150 and had the time of her life.
Plymouth neons are so quick, this is how you usually see them, but we're giving you a better look so you can see the big savings on all 99s. Right now, get 1.9% financing for up to 60 months, or you can get $1,500 cash allowance. There's even a special offer for first-time buyers. That's $1,500 cash allowance, or 1.9% APR for over $2,000 in savings. Hurry before the savings on these neons are gone. See your local Chrysler and Plymouth dealer today.
New York Knicks basketball is brought to you in part by American Express. Wherever you are, whatever you are doing, American Express helps you do more. By your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer. By Office Depot. Business is crazy, but Office Depot makes sense. And by the New York Marriott Marquis, Broadway's biggest hit.
Charles Oakley and the Raptors, a 1-point lead as we begin the second quarter. As we mentioned, Oakley has been very sensitive, was upset about the trade, and in a conversation with MSG's Bill Daughtry, he was asked if he felt the Knicks gave up on him.
I guess so. They traded me, and like I said, I don't think I was the problem, but I guess they thought I was the problem because they traded me for Camby, and I think that now they got him, and I don't know how much he's going to play there. And my thing said, if you're going to deal somebody for somebody else, that guy you're dealing for, he should be able to come in and make something happen positive every night, or why make a deal.
Dennis Scott able to put it in for 2. You know, Clyde, the Knicks didn't think he was the problem. He certainly wasn't. He was a good player, but a lot of factors came into the decision to trade him, including how much money he was making, $10 million for this year. He was a free agent after this year, 35 years old. They wanted to get younger. It wasn't that Charles Oakley was the problem the Knicks felt. They just felt they needed to get younger.
And they did. They got younger with Campy, and he's showing why he's here, because he's an intimidator and shot blocker.
Giles brings it down the other way. Again, some will say that perhaps the Knicks could have been a better team with Oakley this year. That remains to be seen. Campy is coming on, and it's one of those deals that you'll figure out who is the winner and who is the loser a couple of years down the road. Allen Houston draws the foul. Oakley very upset with the call, felt he went straight up. That's his first.
So Allen's struggling early on as misses fired from the perimeter on his first two opportunities. That time, nice hang time to draw the foul.
So Houston will go. In terms of the two of Oakley's, his big areas, rebounding and defense, the Knicks have only been out-rebounded once so far in the first 5 games. And as we mentioned, on the defensive end, they're #1 in the NBA in opponents' field goal percentage defense. But that doesn't factor in all the intangibles with Oakley, because, again, that's one of the keys in his specialty. There you see the Knicks only the 3rd time holding opponents back-to-back under 70 points.
I think part of that futility obviously has to be the shortened season.
Yes, absolutely.
Players still inept with their perimeter shooting, especially from downtown.
And let's face it, they have not played the cream of the crop in terms of the schedule just yet. But it's one of those deals, again, that you're going to have to wait before you decide who is the winner or loser, if there is going to be a case like that. Christie throws it away again. But it's just a tough trade because he was such a popular player. And he's taken a lot of shots.
He has to move on,
yeah.
man.
He keeps saying he understands it's a business, but it's obvious that he's hurt. And in ways you can't blame him, because he had a special bond here in New York.
So did I. But teams don't care about that.
That's right.
It's a business decision. You have to make the transition.
Childs, a wide open 3. This one won't go as the shot clock winds down, and Stewart fouls Dudley. Loose ball foul there. Michael Stewart picking up his first.
So this team getting out hustled, I think, is despicable that a young team will get out hustled. So the Knicks now mauling them on the glass.
So Kevin Willis will come back in. Oakley's going to go to the bench. 7 points, 3 rebounds for Oakley.
Similar scenario last night with the Pistons. I thought they were very lackadaisical on the D early on in the game. Not asserting themselves.
Alvin Gentry was furious with his team afterwards. He just felt that they got outworked. Dennis Scott trying to post up D. Brown. Willis goes to double. Scott with a nice move and puts it in.
Scott, after missing 2 consecutive shots, has made 2 now. Not his forte, folks, posting and toasting, but doing a good job now.
Knicks open up with a 6-0 run here to start the second quarter. 2 minutes gone by in the period. Willis posting up on Dudley.
The Raptors very predictable.
And Willis, a good shooter from the perimeter, knocks it down. Nick Lead cut to 3.
Now they're looking to double team the ball, create some havoc. They call it legal defense.
Well, legal defense is Brown and Stewart did not fully double team. Chris Childs will have timeout.
The Knicks head for Cleveland to battle the Cavs after MCS Cannon game night, Thursday on MSG.
CARE is here to help people help themselves. The progress is really remarkable in Zambia. People work so hard to improve their lot in life. And these people are really willing to learn now. I think Dikembe Mutombo understands that the power inside these people is really phenomenal. I know Mutombo will bring home one important thought. A little care can make a world of difference.
How has Black history made an impact in your life?
More than anything, it gave me a sense of pride and a better understanding of who I am. It made me more determined to do something positive with my life.
Some people may say, I'm not African American, so why do I need to learn about Black history?
Because Black history is American history. It's about celebrating American people. That's why everybody should celebrate Black History Month.
He defied the law and became a legend.
Zorro was a servant of the people. He did what was needed. Now he's needed again.
Now he will train the next generation
This is going to take a lot of work.
And avenge his past.
Tell her who her real father is. The truth dies with me.
Antonio Banderas, Anthony Hopkins, The Mask of Zorro.
Playing this month on Direct Ticket, only on DirecTV.
Championship boxing returns to the Garden on Saturday when IBF World Champion Felix Trinidad will trade punches with 6-time world champ Pernell Whitaker. The welterweight showdown, Trinidad against Whitaker, this Saturday, February 20th at the Garden. Visit the Garden box office or call Ticketmaster 212-307-7171. Knicks leading 27-24. Herb Williams turns 41 years old today. And Herb Williams, the oldest player in the NBA this season. The elder statesman throughout the league.
And he's there because of what he brings to the locker room, Mike. A lot of intangibles with Herb.
And then you look here, Clyde, Tracy McGrady, who's 22 years younger at 19 years old. And what I find incredible, McGrady is only the 4th youngest player in the NBA, and he's 19. There are 3 players younger than him, and he's a 19-year-old.
And McGrady averaging 11 points and 4 bounds, so he's very exciting.
Canby underneath, stops it in on a nice feed from Dennis Scott.
The Raptors trying to up their tempo on the defense, but they got caught. Canby, the recipient.
Knicks back up by 5.
The Raptors look like the Knicks when they feature Ewing. They pass the ball, they stand around trying to get it into Willis.
D. Brown wanting to get it to Willis. Dudley with some physical defense.
When that happens, you're not going to get extra opportunities, and you're vulnerable to transition.
And it goes over the backboard out of bounds. Willis settling that time for the jumper. And another former Knick entering the game, John Wallace.
The Knicks in Toronto have had this thing going on.
Well, it's not just Oakley, it's Wallace, it's Christie, John Thomas. You see the Knicks on an 8-2 run.
Brendan Malone was the first coach of these Raptors.
Yep. Childs on a penetration, got fouled, threw up the shot quickly. D. Brown committing the first. And there's Brendan.
On the auspices of Isaiah Thomas. So Brendan with 2 championship rings. He was with those bad boys in '88 and '89 to win a championship. New York native out of Queens.
There's Childs' numbers. Again, you won't be blown away by the overall numbers, but when you consider the impact he's had coming into games, and he's averaging just 29 minutes per game, he has been the real spark in the bench, and the bench has been a key reason why the Knicks have won 3 in a row.
A dramatic metamorphosis for Childs, much maligned last season because of his lackluster play, but he was bedeviled by injuries and missed about 14 games. 12 of those were consecutive.
He needs to stay healthy. Came into camp in pretty good shape. Hits the free throws. Knicks with their largest lead in the early going. 7-point advantage. Still early here in the second.
Raptors stagnant, lethargic on the offense. Just featuring Willis on the low post.
That's McGrady, the 19-year-old. Scott on him. D. Brown. Childs has played some excellent defense this season. There's Wallace. Wallace over Canby. Tough shot. Dudley the rebound. 7-point Knick lead. Childs for 3. It's good. Childs from downtown. And Childs 7 of his last 11 from 3-point range.
Uncanny 66% from there. That puts him among the leaders.
Came into the game as Willis banging down low. Jump hook is short. Rebound knocked loose out of bounds, and it's going to be Nick Ball. 13-2 run by the Knicks. Childs came into the game 3rd in the NBA in 3-point shooting. And Butch Carter's going to call a full timeout. So a full timeout by the Raptors. 13-2 run by the Knicks. They lead by 10 here in the second.
today's agenda, the information age.
What happened to the industrial age?
No more living in the past. Today, it's what you know that matters. Look, he's got half a good idea over there. She's got the other half.
We get the picture.
What are we supposed to do about
Make it simpler for people to exchange ideas.
They'll need a digital office. With new software. New hardware.
Relax. I've got us a partner down there.
But they only make...
Not anymore, they don't.
Oh.
Keep the conversation going. Share the knowledge. The Digital Document Company. Xerox.
New York is a city of excess. Why one trade tower when you can have two? Why just one Broadway? Why 9 to 5 when New York never sleeps? And like New York, Delta Airlines offers you more, like the most non-stops to more cities in Europe, as well as service from all 5 airports. And as for getting to them, why one bridge when you can have 18? Delta Airlines, putting you on top of the world.
Strong second quarter for the Knicks. 13-2 run. Jeff Van Gundy's team up by 10. Our American Express Atlantic Division standings. Knicks now with a 3-game winning streak, up in 3rd place. And the 2 surprises continue to play well. Orlando and Philadelphia off to terrific starts. And the Nets injury riddled early on at 1 of 4. Childs throws it away as the Knicks commit their 4th turnover.
Raptors a pathetic group right now. Nothing happening for them on the offense. Shooting 40%. Just featuring Willis. No continuity or spontaneity on the offense.
McGrady, Brown, Wallace, Willis, and Carter out there. Wild shot by D. Brown. He draws the foul, and he'll shoot some free throws as Dudley commits the personal. First on Chris Dudley.
Brown, 6'2", 200 pounds. Good penetration that time along the baseline.
So Dudley getting some minutes. He'll get that quite a bit in the back-to-back. Has not received a lot of minutes early on this season. As Brown is kind of a changed player. Clyde mentioned a lot heavier, misses the first free throw. A lot of that had to do with back in '91 he overcame a severe knee injury as Christie returns. Former first-round pick of the Celtics.
He's their best three-point shooter, but that time the good dribble penetration to draw the foul.
Nick lead is 9. 4.5 gone by in the second. Allen Houston. Short. Dudley tried to tip it, couldn't reach it. Wallace comes away.
I talked to Wallace, and he said his contract is up this season, and the team is not playing him. But he's going to remain confident.
D. Brown fires a 3. Won't go. Can be the rebound. As you said, with the additions of Willis and Oakley, it cuts back at his time. You want to see a player like that get some time. Wallace, a tremendously talented offensive player, but he's not a good defender. Houston drives on Christie. Tough shot, won't go. Ball knocked out of bounds. Raptors ball.
2 consecutive misses by Allen. That time, not a good opportunity for him as they smothered him.
Houston now 0 for 4 to start. He's had slow starts, but he's finished well the last 2 games. Had 9 points in the 4th quarter against the Bulls, then 7 in the 4th quarter against the Pistons. D. Brown steps back. Willis had it, lost it. Loose ball foul called on Dudley.
Dudley, propensity for ill-advised fouls, just entered the game and has 2 fouls already. Averaging 1 block shot a game, but I think Moore has to intimidate more with his persona rather than reaching with his hands.
It's been hard for him to get any kind of flow, again playing such limited minutes early on so far. And Christie throws it away again. Christie was annoyed with Carter that time. And as you see, Oakley still on the floor despite being part of the bench.
Oakley defiant tonight. Reminds me of my dog when I tell him to go outside, Mike, and he gets on the threshold of the room.
Childs puts up the 2-pointer. Christie picking up the loose ball. Knicks are shooting 48%. The Raptors 36%.
Crowd becoming annoyed now by the ineptitude of both teams.
Well, they're keeping their annoyance to themselves because it's very quiet in here. It's Christie with a nice shot.
Dudley's complaining about being pushed underneath.
Nick lead is 7. Knicks after tonight will be off and back-to-back on the road Thursday and Friday in Cleveland and in Philadelphia. Part of a 4 games and 5-night stretch. Houston drives left-handed. Nice adjustment from Allen Houston to get his first field goal.
Matador D by Christie that time, allowing him to penetrate along the baseline.
Christie, as we said, a good defender, comes up with steals, but he gambles quite a bit and would get burned. Willis posting up against Dudley, and Dudley, frustrated, called for his third foul in a short period of time, and Ewing's going to come back in the game.
Dudley very cantankerous since getting those fouls. He claimed he was the one being pushed inside, but Willis drawing the foul against Dudley, so it's none shooting. The Raptors will have it.
So Dudley sits down. Ewing, Larry Johnson back in. Johnson's been on the bench for the past 12.5 minutes. Charlie Ward returns as well. That's Carter, impressive rookie from North Carolina. Johnson on him, and before the shot, Larry Johnson putting his hand down. Commits his second personal foul.
Everyone playing defense with their hands, not their feet. Primarily because there's no flow in the game, so everybody's very stagnant, just standing around reaching with their hands.
14th foul. Christie. Nice feed down low to Kevin Willis. Willis with a fake block by Canby. And the rebound.
Impeccable timing by Canby.
Allen Houston now pulls up for three. And it goes over the backboard out of bounds. Marcus Camby, another terrific block shot.
He has the best timing that I've seen in a shot blocker. That time, normally they would call goaltending, but impeccable timing. Right there, he smacks it away. The crowd aroused. Houston continues his stupor as he misfired from downtown.
And you see again, Camby coming over. He doesn't block his own man shot often. More often than not, it's as the help defender. As Christie falls back. Camby with a strong rebound in traffic.
Actually, Camby's their career leader in block shots for the Raptors.
Knicks lead is 9. Just over 4.5 to play in the second. Alley-oop, and Camby puts it in. Beautiful pass from Larry Johnson, and the Knicks lead by 11.
Camby with the good stuff, so he's percolating now, propelling the Knicks.
Camby with 4 points, 5 rebounds, and a block shot in limited duty.
Now the crowd aroused.
D. Brown, hop step for three. Brown knocks it down. As Clyde mentioned, Brown shooting well from three-point range at 42% coming into tonight's game. Knick lead cut to 8.
Now you see the double team, and the Knicks must find that open man.
Camby on the jumper. His shot so high, the arc on his shot.
Flat, Mike, no rotation, right. Shooting a knuckleball.
Wallace stripped by Charlie Ward, knocked it out, still Toronto ball.
Watch LJ. He looks inside. Christie did not see Camby coming in with the good stuff.
Very nice assist from Larry Johnson.
Christie was the culprit. He lost Camby.
Oakley back in, quickly touches and shoots. Ewing the weak side rebound.
So the pace has quickened.
Allen Houston on a drive.
The Raptors energized on the D now, a little more intensity.
Charlie Ward's three won't go. Johnson's tip misses. Second tip knocked away. Oakley comes out of the pack. Christie again with a three. Willis the rebound. Christie's shot selection sometimes a little out of hand. Alvin Williams misfires, and Camby going in hard for the rebound, knocking down Allen Houston. Outlet pass a little shaky, but the Knicks hold on.
Curious ball handling by the Knicks now. Look at the Raptors swarming to the ball. 3 guys on LJ.
They kick it, so they'll reset to 24. More substitutions. Kurt Thomas will come in, and we'll have a timeout. 3:14 remaining here in the second quarter. Marcus Camby making his presence felt as the Knicks lead by 8.
Dodge Dakota. Dodge Ram. Add more muscle. In a hurry.
You're watching Knicks basketball on MSG Network. Now available in high-definition television.
Charles Oakley's brought out the celebrities tonight here at the Garden. Samuel Jackson on hand, along with Richard Lewis, Terrell Davis, and Billy Crystal, all side by side.
The luminaries illuminating the Garden tonight.
Knicks right now have Ward and Houston in the backcourt. Thomas, Johnson, and Ewing. Charlie Ward with the runner. Won't go. Johnson tips it in.
LJ with new zest in his legs after losing 20 pounds. That time the quantum leap.
Larry Johnson with 4 offensive rebounds here in the first half. Knicks back up by 10. Their largest lead has been 11. Carter, feed down low to Willis, draws the foul. Shot will not go. And Willis will shoot some free throws.
Splendid pass by Carter, very unselfishly getting it inside to Kevin. They've been lacking this type of continuity, have the Raptors, so they've just been featuring Willis coming across from the strong side to the weak side, and when you do that, you have too many players standing around, no one else getting involved.
Kurt Thomas, his 3rd foul. Willis hits the first free throw. And following the next game, National Finance Sports Desk, as Derek Jeter wins his arbitration. Tim McCarver will be in studio with Marv Albert. Garvin, one of the new voices of the Yankees, and the complete NBA wrap-up. One of the reasons, Clyde, the Raptors struggle offensively at times, they don't really have a true point guard. I mean, Alvin Williams is kind of a tweener between a point guard and a 2-guard. Deep Brown, the same thing. So there's no one legitimate playmaker, shall we say, out there.
Houston looking to get on the books.
Ewing, tough fall-away shot, won't go. Johnson trying to keep it alive, but Oakley takes it away.
Well, Ewing is struggling. Dubious shot selection by Patrick.
Oakley's 5th rebound. Oakley's pass off the shin of Carter. Scott trying to guard him. Carter, tough shot across the lane.
Previously a nice pass inside to Willis by Carter. This time he was the guy creating in the paint.
Carter, the 5th overall selection. Former Tar Heel. Has a lot of ability. Don Chaney, Nick's assistant coach, saying before the game he's going to be a very good player for a long time. Nick Lee, meanwhile, has been cut to 6. Ewing, a running start. Lock Willis got a piece of it in the foul. And Ewing will go to the line and shoot a couple as Kevin Willis picks up his first.
Some vim and vigor from Patrick. He was on the perimeter, saw an opening, he took it. Watch this zest and finesse by Ewing. Willis did block the shot, but got some body contact.
And Charles Oakley on the help defense. We've always said when Oakley was here, as Ewing for the first free throw, I think Oakley and Scottie Pippen, the 2 best help defenders in the NBA.
Yeah, I agree, Mike. Oakley likes the contact, it seems. He likes the bang inside, always cognizant of penetrating somewhere.
Ewing continues his rough free throw shooting. The entire Knicks team does as he goes 1 for 2. Knicks come into the game as a team just terrible from the free throw line at 62%, 2nd worst in the NBA. Only Golden State is worse from the free throw line.
And that could be crucial if they do not improve.
Well, it hasn't hurt them in some of the games, certainly the winning streak, but when you play against the better teams, you need that.
And on the road.
Carter, nice move on the tip-in, goes in. So Carter with a good 2nd effort.
Also good dexterity, that time the left-handed tip, so he has a lot of bounce in those legs.
Nick Lee cut to 5. Just under a minute and a half remaining in the first half. Dennis Scott with the 3. Scott continues to struggle from 3-point range. Now 0 for 3 from downtown. 1 of 10 on the year from there.
And the Raptors with some momentum now.
Carter calling for the ball again. On the pull-up, it's Carter. Pretty move.
3 consecutive hoops for Carter, but give Oakley the credit that time. A good screen to free him up.
An 8-1 run by the Raptors, and Jeff Van Gundy, annoyed, is going to call his 22nd timeout. Knicks have led by as many as 11, but an 8-1 run, and the lead is 3. We'll take a quick timeout.
New York Knicks basketball is brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. By the American Express card. Wherever you are, whatever you are doing, American Express helps you do more. By Hertz. For business, for pleasure. Nobody does it exactly like Hertz. By MetLife. Get Met. It pays. And by The Wiz. Your ticket to home entertainment.
54.7 remaining in the second quarter. Nick lead 111 here in the second has been cut to 3. And coming up, the Tri-State Jeep halftime report. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep dealer. Deb Kaufman at the sports desk. Alan John Andres with the first half highlights, including Charles Oakley's 7 points and 5 rebounds.
Carter now with 6 consecutive points, propelling the Raptors back into the game.
Nick's shooting has gone down to 43%.
That's because they've become a perimeter team. Look at them on the perimeter, not getting the ball in the paint.
Johnson kicks it out. Dennis Scott an open 2, puts it in. Scott's been fine from 2-point range tonight, but he can't hit the 3.
All right, also erratic shooting, make 1, miss 2. So that time uncontested to the right side.
Nick lead back up to 5. About a half minute remaining in the second quarter.
They're featuring Carter now.
Carter pulls up, knocks it down again. Whistle and a foul, a loose ball foul. It's going to go against the Raptors.
Look like Oakley, he's complaining. Yep, it's the Oak man. So Carter tantalizing the Knicks now. 4 consecutive baskets, that time against LJ, but Oakley with the ill-advised foul.
Carter 8 points now on 4 of 6 from the field. Oakley's fouled his second.
Big Carter. Nice shaking and baking right here against LJ. And underneath you see Oakley. Well, I didn't really see that foul.
Well, you saw Dennis Scott at the end kind of flailing after Oakley bumped into him. Jim Clark made the call explaining it to Oakley, and Oakley giving him his version. Scott misses a free throw as well.
Scott rarely goes to the free throw line.
John Thomas, the former Knicks first-round pick, comes in. Again, after tonight, Knicks will be in Cleveland on Thursday night against the Cavaliers. Our MCS Cannon Knicks game night kicks off our coverage at 7 p.m.
That was Scott's first free throw attempt of the season. Misfired on that. He entered the game only 1 of 7 from downtown and has not improved on that.
Jim Clark discussing the clock right now, how much time is left.
Oakley's taking a breather. He's averaging 35 minutes per game for the Raptors.
And in the first half, played a lot of minutes as well. So Scott to the line. Knicks free throw shooting 7 of 11 at 64%.
Those are good numbers if you're in the casino, Mike. not in the court.
Well, they haven't turned this into a casino yet, so those are bad numbers. Scott misses another one. Camby couldn't hold on to the rebound. Chris Childs is in. Scott will sit down. 27 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Knicks had a nice run. Midway through the second, went up by 11. But the Raptors have answered back. Rookie Vince Carter, the main reason in the last several minutes.
Look for them to feature him again now. They're in the 1-4 offense. Look for them to go along the baseline of Christie trying to get into the paint area.
About a 2-second differential, game clock and shot clock. Christie and Houston.
There you see Carter. He's looking to go on the baseline.
Christie pulls up, puts it in, and it's a 1-point game. Knicks still with plenty of time to get off a quality shot here to end the first half. Camby on the pull-up, high arcing shot way off the mark, and that will end the first half. And Charles Oakley will head to the locker room. His team on a 12-3 run in the final 3 minutes of the second quarter. And what was once an 11-point Knick lead is now 1. And one of the ongoing activities at halftime here at the Garden for today's game will be a video tribute to Charles Oakley that the team put together. And that's going to be done at some point during the course of halftime to honor Oakley.
Hey,
nice
they
touch.
didn't do that for me, Mike. What's going on here?
They didn't have those things back then. Did they have color TV back then, Clyde?
It was in its infancy.
All right, now they're going to play the tribute to Charles Oakley here for the fans.
All right, a tribute to Charles Oakley, but he couldn't hear the ovation. Strange timing for that one here at the Garden. Back after this.
McLean's pass, shot by Gretzky, score! The Rangers and the Canadiens, Wednesday on MSG.
Getting involved definitely takes some effort, but it doesn't have to take a lot of time.
How long does it take to give encouragement?
Show compassion or offer help. Does it take a lot of time to teach something or to show respect?
How long does it take to forgive someone?
I'm sorry, or offer hope. Team up with your community.
You'll be amazed how time flies.
Team up.
Is your mother around?
There's a cowboy here.
From one of the most acclaimed novels of our time.
What went on out there with Pilgrim?
From Academy Award-winning director Robert Redford.
Was I right to bring her here away from what's familiar?
Easily one of the best films of the year. Robert Redford.
I never expected to feel this way again.
Kristen Scott Thomas. The Horse Whisperer.
Playing this month on Direct Ticket, only on Direct TV.
I'm John Strauss.
We'll break into this coffin.
My husband's very ill. We're trying to find his family here.
Look who's coming back from the dead.
Why are you lying? Where do I come from?
Playing this month on Direct Ticket, only on Direct TV.
Hey, how you doing? You doing all right?
We want you to know that we missed you, and it's been a long time since we've heard the roar of the crowd.
It's a pleasure for us to be back. Jump off! Who's back? Who's back? The Jazz!
Nice seeing y'all out here and see y'all during the season.
Broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
You're watching the Tri-State Jeep Halftime Report. Jeep, the most award-winning brand of 4x4s on earth. Knicks led an 11-point lead slip away. Their advantage is 43-42. Charles Oakley hearing some cheers tonight, but it has to satisfy the Knicks that Kurt Thomas and Marcus Camby provided many of the highlights in that first half. We'll get an update from Deb Kaufman, then back with highlights after this.
Thank you, Al Trotwig. The Knicks apparently wore out a few of the Pistons yesterday. They are without some key players against the Nets tonight. Lindsey Hunter, Joe Dumars, Loy Vaught all sitting this one out. Both these teams are desperate for a win, and it's the Pistons 49-46. They are in front at the break. In the closing minute of the first quarter, things looking pretty good for the Nets. Kerry Kittles with the fadeaway, which is a good sign for him. He was 1 of 13 last night. But the Pistons had the lead back 26-25 in the second quarter, and it's Judd Buechler to Grant Hill, who gets through the net defense. Hill, the only Piston again in double figures in that first half. Cal's team down 3. Two of the better young teams in the NBA, Milwaukee and the 76ers. Allen Iverson showing he can dish the ball. Theo Ratliff had 12 in the first half. The Sixers starting to put some points on the board. Aaron McKee off the rebound with a length of the court pass to Matt Geiger, who eludes a couple bucks. Milwaukee's trailing in the third quarter in this one, 66-60. In college hoops tonight, Rutgers has won 4 in a row, but to win at UConn, that might be asking a bit much. Rutgers is trying to hang in there. They're down 11, 40-29 as they begin the second half. We're back after this.
Do I like to shop? Oh, yes. How you doing? Franks and beans? Aisle 5. Beans and Franks? Aisle 7.
Hi. Hi.
Fat-free. Nothing but cut. Check this out.
You're our 1 millionth shopper! Use your card at supermarkets and drugstores and get double membership rewards points.
I love this card.
When you come to Foxwoods, you'll find Ken Davis to welcome you.
Nice to see you.
Arlene Bolton to check you in.
Enjoy your stay.
Mike Keogh to give you change.
Good luck.
Plus 1,400 hotel rooms, 24 restaurants, top entertainment, and 5 casinos that last year paid out more winners than any other casino in the world, including Eve Wrigley, who won $150 and had the time of her life. at Foxwoods, closer to Manhattan than Atlantic City.
Where's Jason?
He's going out on his own.
He can't do that. He hasn't finished his training.
We can't let them think we're too small. Let's go. You've got the knowledge. You've got the internet. Just show them what you know, and you can compete with the big boys. We know that. Now that looks professional.
It has to. This document represents us.
Wait.
Jason, they're doing fine. They have Xerox digital copiers and printers.
I really did think that Xerox only worked with big businesses.
Keep the conversation going. Share the knowledge. The Digital Document Company, Xerox.
Derek Jeter just seems to do everything right. He even won his arbitration case today. The Yankees will be paying him $5 million for the '99 season. Even the boss, George Steinbrenner, admitting today Jeter is as valuable as any of his beloved Yankees.
Derek is vital to us. It's very important. I feel no bad feelings about it whatsoever. None at all.
So there's a perception, or it's been written.
I'm just a lot poorer.
Marv is here for the half-hour show. When he's done calling the game on the radio, he'll have more on the Derek Jeter case. Tim McCarver, who will be calling Jeter's games this year, joins Marv in the studio. They'll have extended highlights of the Knicks and Nets, and Daily News writer Frank Isola, who covers the Knicks, is also here. So Marv is here for the half-hour show right after the game, but for now, the Knicks have some work to do. They're up just one. We're back for highlights with Al and John Andres right after this.
Look under Sprite caps and you could win free Sprite or a $25,000 paycheck.
2 words, kid. Savings account. Nah, let Kobe take you traveling. You know about traveling. You do it all over the court. Think steady, long-term growth.
I don't know what's weaker, your advice or your game?
Weak?
Yeah, weak.
Hey, don't make me come over there.
Excuse me?
You want me to say
Guys,
it again?
I kind of have to get home.
Anybody here talking to you?
No. I didn't think so.
The Sprite salary cap game.
You heard me.
I don't think I did.
What you do with the money is your choice.
Oh, I think you did.
5 o'clock. You know what that means.
Time for scratchers from the New York Lottery. Lots of games, like the new Ticket to Ride, with 3 chances to win a new car or up to 20 grand.
I'm giving you a ticket.
Scratchers, saving New York from the ordinary day.
Thanks, Scratcher guy.
Get an RCA 35-inch TV with 2-tuner picture-in-picture, only $799 at the Wiz Digital Presidential Sale. Get digital at the Wiz.
You're watching Knicks basketball on MSG Network, now available in high-definition television.
For the first time on television, The Negotiator on Direct Ticket. When hostage situations explode, they call in police negotiator Chris Sabian.
As of right now, all decisions go through me.
But now he's facing one of his own.
There's some bad cops among us.
A police negotiator who needs help.
I'm just doing this to prove my innocence.
Samuel L. Jackson.
You are not in control!
Academy Award winner Kevin Spacey. The Negotiator on Direct Ticket, only on Direct TV.
I'm 6'10", 245 pounds. There are probably a lot of kids who wish they were as big as I am, not because they want to play basketball. It's so they can protect themselves from an abusive parent. If you want to get physical with your kids, give them a hug.
Some of our announcers' clothing is furnished by Perry Ellis Menswear.
Knicks by 1, and the halftime scoring summary is brought to you by the new all-Jeep Grand Cherokee. More powerful, more room, and more capability than ever before. The all-new Jeep Grand Cherokee. Knicks have the lead, so let's start with them. Leading the way for New York with 10 first-quarter points, Kurt Thomas. That's where he stands at halftime as well. Dennis Scott with a few hoops. He's got 6. Larry Johnson the same. And what we've come to expect of this Knicks team is offensive diversity. Everybody gets a chance to contribute. Now the deal for the Toronto Raptors. The Knicks have to find a way to slow down Doug Christie. Allen Houston was the man marking him in the first half, and Christie lit him up for 12, but he did turn the ball over many times. Kevin Willis worked inside for 9 points. Charles Oakley with 7 and 5 rebounds. I'm Al Troutwig along with Johnny Hoops John Andres. And John, I don't think it should be lost in this scenario that all Kurt Thomas has been hearing about is, can you beat Charles Oakley? And Marcus Camby was the guy traded for him. And to me, they were the two highlight players in the first half. So maybe they've taken this occasion to star a little bit themselves.
Something to be said about youth, Al.
Yeah.
It's really showing here in the first quarter with those two.
Now, what do you think about the way the Knicks are playing? I think in spite of the fact that they gave up that lead in the first half, they really seem to be coming together, and the way they move the ball is really good.
Right, second day in a row they've done that. You'd think maybe after yesterday they might have forgotten how to do that, but they did a nice job of that, and I thought their sharing of the basketball was key. But that 15-5 run down at the end that they allowed is something they got to rectify in the second half.
Hey, you know, John is a man of technology. He has made a seamless transition into the world of HD TV for the highlights. Brought to you by Jeep Wrangler, the original top-down on- and off-road fun machine. Jeep Wrangler.
Some very special moves here in the first half. A defensive play by Charlie Ward off that errant Doug Christie pass behind his back. Charlie with a very fine response. Larry Johnson also sensing Canby moving without the basketball right to the rim with a shot and a follow and a nice pass that really brought the house down. At the other end, also some very fine moves in the first half, and the 10-year Knick makes his return tonight. Charles Oakley with one of his finest moves ever here at Madison Square Garden, and the foul. And Vince Carter, the rookie, one of the top draft picks this year, loosened up at the end of the second quarter, missed a shot, but was right there with the great legs to tip it in.
John, be good on the radio. You've been watching the Tri-State Jeep halftime report. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep dealer. Knicks by 1, second half next.
I think we both know why we're here. There comes a time in every career when you just gotta hang 'em up. You're not pulling your weight anymore. Look at you. I mean, look at you. I gotta cut you.
Expect more from your credit card. Introducing Discover Platinum. With a new low rate and a cashback bonus award, it pays to discover. Platinum. Call 1-800-DISCOVER.
Get out of here.
Can you put a price on love?
You betcha! If the object of your affection is a McDonald's Big Mac, just $1.22 for the one-of-a-kind 2 all-beef patty taste that makes you swoon. Or if you're a two-timer, get cozy with 2 Big Mac sandwiches for only $2.22. But hurry, your love may be eternal, but these prices aren't.
Where does one find such love?
Did somebody say McDonald's?
It's a short season this year, and anything can happen. Beautiful play by Allen Houston. Dudley takes it in and a foul. And Knicks fans know there's only one place to see it as it happens. Thomas again. Canby running the floor. The most complete coverage you'll find anywhere. He's devastating now with the jumper. New York Knicks basketball on MSG. The Knicks head for Cleveland to battle the Cavs Thursday on MSG.
Coliseum area in the early 90s was dilapidated building, overgrown lots, and basically it wasn't an area where you would want to be caught in. Oh, now they can't believe it's the same area. When people come in, they said, well, where do these houses come from? But is this the same neighborhood? Home ownership is the main ingredient. When you own your own home, it gives you a feeling you belong. You stand for something.
We look at the neighborhood and we look at the house and we feel like we've accomplished something.
The Fannie Mae Foundation.
Is endless and deep as the ocean, and like a star shining from afar, remains forever the same.
New York Knicks basketball is brought to you in part by that irresistible taste that makes you say, did somebody say McDonald's? By Fannie Mae Foundation, showing America a new way home. By Toyota, every day. And by Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest.
Mike Breen and Walt Clyde Frazier a little off their game in the first half, but they've emerged from the locker room with a renewed spirit to rededicate themselves to find their rhythm in the second. Guys?
What did he say? I wasn't paying attention. Were you?
Yeah, he's
being mischievous again. We're going to send him to his room.
Knicks leading by 1 at 43-42. Some of the numbers, and certain ones stick out quite certainly on a positive. Only 4 turnovers for the Knicks. That's a terrific stat for a team that turns it over too much. But again, look at the free throw shooting. 7 of 12, just 58%. There comes a point where you have to say, all right, the lockout's over. Hit some free throws.
Right, we mentioned that might come back to haunt them. It has in this game. Also, points in the paint is a revelation. The Knicks have dominated the paint 20-12, but they preferred to go on the perimeter. Ewing and Houston, a ghastly 2 of 11 combined. So those 2 players must come to the game. Charlie Ward, among the leaders in dishing with 7 a game, only has 1 assist. So that shows the ineptitude of the Knicks offense and people not doing what they're supposed to do.
Knicks bring it up to start the 3rd quarter, and a hand check foul called on Alvin Williams.
Ward has been meandering on the perimeter too much, going along the sideline. If you're the point guard, you want to keep the ball in the center of the court to try to break down the defense.
Foul on Williams, his 2nd.
Again, along the sideline is Ward. You want to get the ball inside, but now he's looking for LJ.
Johnson posting up Carter. There's the double team, gets it out. Ball movement, Allen Houston, that's a 3. It's good. Allen Houston from downtown. Just his 2nd field goal, but it gives the Knicks a 4-point lead.
Allen only shooting 15% from downtown.
Once again, having a slow start shooting-wise, as has been the norm with him in his career. Oakley with Ewing on him. Ewing knocks it off. Oakley gets it back. High arcing shot, and he puts it in.
Tantalizing Ewing along the baseline.
Oakley now with 9 points. Knick lead is 2. Oakley enjoyed his ovation when he was introduced in the starting lineups before the game. Ewing and Willis. There's the double team. Ewing cross court. Johnson steps back, puts up the 3, knocks it down. Quickly hit 2 threes to start here on the 3rd.
LJ was 22%. Houston was 15. So now these guys getting involved.
Knick lead up to 5. Johnson 9 points, 4 rebounds on the game.
Carter was the catalyst for this team. He hasn't taken a shot here. Normally, if a guy's propelling you, that's the guy you want to get the ball to.
Oakley loses it. Thomas picks up the loose ball. Knicks on a slow, fast break. Houston again left wide open. Christie does not fight over the screen, and Allen Houston hits 2. Lazy defense that time from Doug Christie.
Doug standing there hugging Thomas, who was setting the screen on him, and now their coach wants to talk to them about their lack of aggression.
An 8-2 run to start here in the 3rd quarter, and a 22nd timeout called by Butch Carter. So the Knicks leading by 7 with nearly 2 minutes gone by in the 3rd.
Knicks seeming like they like to toy with the different teams. So this is Oakley, the Oak man getting inside. Thomas the good strip. So Ward, we mentioned among the leaders in dishing, averaging 7 assists. LJ, I like what Ewing did on this play. He didn't have the shot, so Houston came open along the baseline.
And you see Kurt Thomas setting a screen, getting the defensive play, doing a lot of little things. Thomas played very well in the first half, had 10 points, 5 of 6 shooting. You saw the little intangibles there. He just gets in foul trouble. He had 3 fouls in the first half, and he only played 10 minutes in the first half.
Yep, let's stay away from that. Move those feet. Stop using those hands. Good timeout by Carter to try to break this momentum of the Knicks. So the Knicks have been lethal from the perimeter. Whoa, you got to see the pass in.
And Charlie Ward picks it off. Nice fake and beautiful move from Charlie Ward as the Knicks now increase their lead to 9.
And Oakley, the culprit, it's always the passer's fault. He threw the ball in. The guard was not aware of it.
Knicks have hit all 4 of their shots here, and then Christie throws it out of bounds, but Kurt Thomas was holding him, and Thomas picks up his 4th foul.
And that's what you were alluding to, Mike.
He can't stay on the court. He doesn't agree with the call, but there was a lot of contact with him in Oakley.
But Oakley 30 feet away. He's not a threat from there. There's no reason to foul him from out on the perimeter. Right where he is right now. This is where he was. What's he going to do there?
Oakley puts it on the floor. Thomas stays in the game with the 4 fouls. Alvin Williams trying to get free. Christie gets away from the double team, throws up the shot. Terrible shot from Christie. And Kurt Thomas the rebound. Oakley takes it out of his hands.
Vintage Oakley.
And then misses the jumper as Thomas gets another rebound and a loose ball foul, as Kevin Willis, I think, is going to be called for a flagrant foul as he knocked Charlie Ward to the floor.
Watch the Oak man. Ill-advised pass here. Williams broke inside, did not see it, and Ward came up with the errant pass. Watch him wheel and deal on Oakley.
And it's a flagrant 2 foul call against Kevin Willis. An elbow to the face.
The good hustle by Oakley. We've seen this before. He's about 19 feet away. He missed a shot, but Willis, very unsportsmanlike conduct, smacking the diminutive Ward to the court. So he's charged with the flagrant foul.
And Willis has been thrown out of the game. A flagrant 2 foul. The elbow above the shoulder, nailing Charlie Ward. And Willis ejected.
You could hit a thud by Ward, and he was not faking as he was smacked to the floor by Willis. I think a good decision by the official.
I think it's important to diversify, so I talked to a financial advisor. I learned that there was more opportunity in bond funds than I ever realized.
Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest.
Everybody loves these guys, and everybody loves a chance to pocket a few of them, too.
And through Monday, you can pocket a few thousand of them with 1.9, 2.9, or 3.9 APR financing on any Camry, Solara, or Corolla in stock. How's that for democratic? This special ends Monday, so get going. This President's Day weekend, you won't find a better way to save.
Hey, would I tell a lie?
This month, another 18 million people will go online.
E-mail already outnumbers regular mail.
By nearly 10 to 1. By the end of the year, the internet will carry more information than all the telephones in America. Soon.
All our ideas will be free of borders.
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Virtually all internet traffic travels across the systems of one company, Cisco Systems, empowering the internet generation.
Are you ready?
There are two kinds of risk. Investing too aggressively is one, and investing too conservatively is another. You need an investment strategy that handles both risks.
Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest.
Butch Carter will have to go the rest of the game without Kevin Willis ejected after the flagrant 2 foul on this rebound. Watch Charlie Ward underneath as Willis, a sharp elbow to Ward, and Steve Javie quickly on top of that. Flagrant 2 foul, so 2 shots. Watch the ball for the Knicks, and Willis is done for the night.
And Ward being rewarded. They should. He took the smack from Willis.
Charlie Ward hitting the first free throw. Ward now gives the Knicks a 10-point lead.
Ward has struggled from the line, only 69%. Shot 80% from there last season.
And now the Knicks with an 11-point advantage, equaling their largest lead. Tough enough for Butch Carter on the road, but now without his best rebounder.
Butch Carter is Chris Carter's brother, the fabulous wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings.
Larry Johnson trying to get Carter up in the air. Blocked. Vince Carter with a nice defensive play. Last touch by the Knicks, and it's Raptor ball. Excellent defense from the rookie.
Carter showing a nice repertoire previously on the offense. That time the rejections. Carter yet to take a shot here in the third quarter.
He's no relation to the coach or the wide receiver. Move inside, one-handed, won't go. As John Thomas tried to keep it alive, but Kurt Thomas comes away. Knicks leading by 11. 3 minutes gone by in the third. Charlie Ward drives hard to the goal and puts it in.
Charlie wheeling and dealing. Good dexterity off the left side.
Largest lead of the game for the Knicks. An 11-0 run, and they're up by 13. It's been a strong start to this third quarter. Much like the case yesterday, but then the Knicks had a disastrous end to the third quarter. Carter forces it that time. Ewing taps it to Houston.
LJ has tightened up his D now against Carter. They should feature LJ, give him an opportunity.
And the Knicks exploding here to start the third. Johnson against Christie now. Houston fakes the 3. Nice cross-court pass to Ewing. And Ewing misfires. They say no shot. As Kurt Thomas has picked up another foul, his 5th.
That's inexplicable, man, that he would get that one. He's playing a good game. We mentioned the ill-advised foul he got with Oakley for his 4th. Now he will go to the bench. Camby checks in.
Again, very effective minutes when he's on the floor, but he's having trouble. Thomas, that is, as Camby back on. Thomas overall 10 points, 5 of 6 shooting, 4 rebounds, couple of assists.
Now sequestered on the bench for most of this period.
Most of the rest of the game won't probably come in until mid-4th if he comes back. And he stepped out of bounds.
Carter manipulating along the baseline, so he's the culprit.
10 turnovers for the Raptors, resulting in that look on Butch Carter's face.
The Raptors have lost that fire and desire that we saw at the end of the second quarter.
There you see the shooting here in the third. Knicks getting good shot opportunities, however, turn it over that time, trying to force it inside again. Christie trying to get free. Oakley on the move. Charles Oakley misses the layup. Camby the rebound.
Ward distracted him when he ran across the middle.
Knicks looking to push. Charlie Ward flips it up there, won't go.
That time Williams denied Ward. Ward should have caught the ball and gotten under control.
Knicks leading by 13. 4.5 gone by in the third. Charlie Ward on the steal. Alvin Williams completely telegraphing his pass, as does Ward. And Williams gets it right back.
Yeah, redeeming himself. A lot of purple shirts over here.
Oakley to Carter. Fancy move there as Carter gets some moves from the crowd.
Gymnastic acrobatics by Carter. But that time the Knicks were not getting back. There were 4 Raptors in the front court, and the Knicks were in the back court.
Ewing with Oakley guarding him now that Willis is out of the game. Charlie Ward wide open three, passes it up for Allen Houston. That's a 2. Houston way short. Raptors push it up the floor. Knicks an 11-point lead. Alvin Williams. Camby another rebound. Marcus Camby now with 8 rebounds. 57-46. I don't know what it is about these mid-third quarter, Clydes, but some real sloppy play again for the second straight day. Ewing and Oakley. Ewing the spin. And Oakley called for the foul before the shot. That's going to be the 3rd on Oakley. Raptors not over the limit yet. 3rd team foul.
You see Ewing, good positioning right there. About 10 feet away. Be difficult for the Oak man to deny him there. Oakley 6'9", Ewing a 7-footer.
One of the talents of Oakley was he was always able to defend opposing team centers if Ewing got in foul trouble, like in Alonzo Mourning. So he's used to defending in the post. Did it last year while Ewing was out with the injury. Camby gets the feed underneath. Shot, no, but a foul. And Camby will shoot 2. Larry Johnson drawing the double team. And Camby getting open.
Now the Knicks more team oriented. When they've been double teamed, they've looked for the open man. So that time LJ drew the double team inside. Camby came open to draw the foul.
Second foul on Doug Christie. Camby, like many of his Knick brethren, have struggled from the free throw line. He's just 8 of 16. And the terrible free throw shooting continues.
Camby's a 61% career shooter. Free throw shooting, folks, just confidence and practice. Even if you've been off for a year, you should be able to make at least 7 out of 10 from the line. That's why they called him free.
And Camby hits the second. That's what he's done all season. 1 of 2. Knick lead is 12 as we're midway through the third. Larry Johnson on Carter. Christie, quick pass. Oakley tied up, gets it across to D. Brown for 3. Brown's line drive won't go, and a loose ball foul called.
Oakley mauling Ward that time.
They call it against Charlie Ward, however.
Ward retaliating.
First foul on Ward.
That's why Ward is a good rebounder. He hangs around the offensive glass.
Certainly not afraid of the contact. Second team foul on the Knicks. Oakley being guarded by Camby now.
Good denial by LJ. Look at him not allowing Carter to get the ball.
That's the best defense, is not let your man get the ball. Ball denial, a lost art in the NBA these days. Good feed out to D. Brown. Three-pointer rattles in.
And the Knicks must know he's their best three-point shooter. Can't leave him uncontested.
Knick lead cuts to 9. Knicks have led by as many as 13. Just under 5.5 to play in the third. Ward trying to get around Carter, who bumps him. And that's the 15th foul. Raptors over the limit. Ward will shoot. Second on Carter. Charlie Ward's actually leading the Knicks in scoring right now. He's got 11. They've had good balance. Thomas 10. Houston and Johnson with 9 apiece. And Ward way short again. It's amazing. Again, only the Golden State Warriors worse than the Knicks in shooting. Thomas, Camby, and Ewing hurting. Ewing going to the line quite often, obviously.
Last season, folks, the average for free throw shooting by all the teams was 73%. So you can see it has really plummeted.
And the Knicks were at 77%. They were in the top 3 in the NBA most of the season. 10-point Knick lead. Charlie Ward does a good job fighting over the screen. Thomas on the line drive, puts it in.
That's the kid, the former Knick, right? They went to the Celtics?
Yep. Former first-round pick.
Yep.
Ewing with Thomas on him. Patrick Ewing, only 3 points in the game, has not looked for a shot all that much. Ewing across the lane, puts it in. Patrick Ewing, now 2 of 6 from the field.
That time, vintage Ewing, moving and grooving, protecting the ball with his body. Thomas had no chance to reject it.
4.5 remaining in this third quarter. 10-point Knick lead. Oakley pass, throws it out of bounds again, as John Thomas not expecting it. A turnover, number 11 for the Raptors.
Not a good pass anyway by Oakley. When you make that type of pass, it's difficult to handle. Usually when you're passing, if you have to think about it, don't do it.
And Oakley thought about that one a little too long. Thomas did not think about it at all. Another turnover. Can be looking for Ewing again. Ewing, tough fall-away shot, won't go. Oakley, the rebound, his 6th. Oakley gets it down low underneath. Carter kicks it out. Christie for an open 3. Larry Johnson on the weak side. Outlet to Charlie Ward. Ward able to run it down. Christie right on top of him.
Oh, behind the back pass by Ward.
And Houston nails the 3. Larry Johnson started it all off with a nice pass.
And rarely do you see Ward with any razzle-dazzle, but that time he was compelled to, as Christie was smothering him. The only thing he could do was go behind his back. Houston recipient.
Knicks back up by 13, 3.5 to play in this third. Thomas, quick move, and Ewing just swats at him as he goes by. That's Ewing picking up his 2nd foul. The key, the rebound, and the quick outlet.
So LJ now 6 bounds. Watch Ward. Christie overplaying his right, so he went behind the back. So that excited the crowd.
Charlie Ward sits down. Ward with 12 points and 3 assists.
So Ward averaging 10 points, career best for him. Last season his best was 7 points. So Charlie continues to improve.
Thomas hitting the first one. And National Finance Sports Desk coming up after the game as Derek Jeter winning his arbitration. Marv Albert will talk with the new Yankee announcer, Tim McCarver. And plenty of action tonight in the NBA, including the surprising Philadelphia 76ers. They're in a tight battle with the Milwaukee Bucks down in Philly.
Surprising Milwaukee Bucks as well.
Philly, of course, Knicks' opponent on Friday night down in Philadelphia. Thomas 1 for 2. Camby pulls down his 9th rebound. 12-point Knick lead, just under 3.5 remaining in the third, along with Clyde Frazier and Al Troutwig. Mike Breen on hand as the Knicks trying to win their 4th in a row. Battling their former teammate, Charles Oakley. Houston and Ewing, the 2-man game. Ewing, too long. Camby trying to tip it, won't go. Thomas with a nice save. D. Brown fires a 3. Allen Houston the rebound.
Normally this is where the Knicks lose their momentum and the other team comes on strong.
Yeah, they have not had the killer instinct. They have had the tendency to let up. Camby tried to jam it. The end result works.
And he liked it because Oakley was there trying to deny him. So Walker's going ferociously to the hoop.
Camby's been very aggressive as the Knicks now with their largest lead of the game, a 14-point advantage, 2.5 left, third quarter. Oakley hoists one up, and that's the shot he's hit for many years. Charles Oakley now in double figures, 11 points.
Oakley's very composed. I'm impressed with his demeanor on the court.
Yeah, he hasn't tried to come out and just dominate the game, which is not his style. He's always known his limitations. Johnson, and a foul on Reggie Slater before the shot. Raptors over the limit, so Johnson will shoot. We'll have timeout. 2:07 remaining here in the third. Knicks have opened up a 12-point lead.
The Knicks head for Cleveland to battle the Cavs after MCS Cannon game night, Thursday on MSG.
great to be back out here performing in front of the best fans in any professional sport.
Glad you're here, man. Glad you're here. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
We'd just like to say thank you for coming out. There's a wonderful show of support here tonight.
There's no better way to catch the NBA than with NBA League Pass on DirecTV Sports. You can see up to 8 regular season games a night. Just call 1-800-GET-SPORTS. And for $79, you can have NBA League Pass for the rest of the regular season.
Oh, baby, what a play!
You'll see the teams, players, and matchups that you want to watch. Just call 1-800-GET-SPORTS to order, and we'll see you courtside with NBA League Pass on DirecTV Sports.
For the first time on television, The Negotiator on Direct Ticket. When hostage situations explode, they call in police negotiator Chris Sabian.
As of right now, all decisions go through me.
But now he's facing one of his own.
There's some bad cops among us.
A police negotiator who needs help.
I'm just doing this to prove my innocence.
Samuel L. Jackson.
You are not in control!
Academy Award winner Kevin Spacey. The Negotiator on Direct Ticket, only on DirecTV.
Third quarter, Madison Square Garden, 2:07 remaining in the third. Knicks leading 66-54. Our Toyota matchup, Charles Oakley with 11 points and 6 rebounds. Kurt Thomas playing well, but limited because of foul problems. He has 5. But Oakley's team down 12. Part of the reason, Kevin Willis early in the third quarter ejected for a flagrant 2 foul for an elbow to the neck of Charlie Ward.
So the Knicks have regained their composure, becoming more team-oriented. Watch the good articulation this time. Camby going to the glass against the Oak man, and he gets it in.
Camby has played well once again.
Now LJ at the line, previously posted inside to draw the foul.
Hits the first free throw, so Camby also has a couple of block shots again as well. Johnson now with 10 points,
LJ,
1 of 4 Knicks in double figures.
LJ had 12 last night. Good job of rebounding as well.
And hits 2 free throws, 2 in a row, something we do not see often here early in the season. Knicks lead back up to 14. And this has been the area Knicks have gotten some leads and then let teams get back into it.
Knicks playing good D. They have a foul to give.
Reggie Slater, triple team, forces it up and draws the foul.
Look like Dudley again. He's been bewitched by foul woes.
They call it, however, Johnson is third. And Reggie Slater will go to the line.
Slater, a very imposing man out there. 6'8", about 260. Looked like a linebacker.
Slater out of Wyoming wasn't drafted. He is what you call an NBA journeyman as he hits the first free throw. This is his 4th NBA team. See Johnson with the 3 fouls. As Slater has played for Denver, for Portland, for Dallas. John Wallace back in. Oakley will get a rest. 10 points. Check that, 11.6 rebounds, 3 assists for Oakley.
Oakley fans extolling his virtues as he goes to the bench. I like what the Knicks did for him too, Mike, coming out with that video. I thought that was classy.
They played it at halftime, as you saw.
Oakley has not had kind words for the general manager, so I think that was a nice thing for them to do, Ernie and Miss Dave Checkers.
Houston puts it in and knocks down the shot. Tough shot from Allen Houston. As Ernie Grunfeld has said, he had nothing personal, and it's part of the business that he respected what Oakley and was thankful for what Oakley did for the organization for 10 years, but trades are part of the business in the NBA. Grunfeld himself was traded.
Actually, it's the part of the business no one likes, Mike.
Yep. Thomas hits the jumper. I mean, just think the average person, if you're told in your job, okay, you're going to be moved across the country and play somewhere completely different, move your family. Of course, Oakley in this case not married or with kids, but it's not an easy thing to accept of being traded.
And the teams do not find joy in telling people they're traded or trading individuals.
Houston is tied up there, and Chris Childs has called a 20-second timeout. Although I will say there have been some trades where teams are very glad to inform a guy that he's out of there.
Right.
But in most cases, you're right.
Sometimes players want out of there too. That's a rare scenario as well.
Absolutely. Tomorrow on MSG, A lot of action for you from the NHL as the Rangers and Canadiens will face off at the Garden. Face-off time is at 7:30 on Fox Sports New York. 7:30 Islanders match up with the Penguins. Then on Thursday, the Nets against Scottie Pippen and the Rockets, also at 7:30. While on MSG, Knicks and Cavs from Cleveland. More to come on Friday. Devils skate against the Red Wings, 7:30 on Fox Sports New York. So plenty of action coming up this week. Check your local listings. Jeff Van Gundy, he admitted it wasn't a fun one to watch yesterday, but said there's no such thing as a bad win. As the Knicks have won 3 in a row, trying to make it 4 straight. They lead by 13 here in the final minute of the third. Childs in the game. Splits the defenders, kicks it out. Camby along the baseline. Marcus Camby again.
Camby has been thriving along that baseline. So strong move by the 6'11" Camby.
So Camby close to a double-double. He's got 9 points and 10 rebounds. Camby goes for the steal. Wallace on the pull-up. John Wallace, a terrific medium-range shooter.
Camby, the perpetrator that time, should not have gone for the steal, allowing Wallace to penetrate for the jumper.
So another former Knick. 13-point lead for the Knicks.
Childs has been quiet tonight.
Houston sees the double team. Johnson fakes the 3. Trying to get the foul. 5 on the shot clock. Houston checks that. Houston now has it stripped and taken by D. Brown. Good defense from Brown. Final seconds here in the third quarter. Shot clock is turned off.
One of the few times this evening the Raptors have asserted themselves on the D.
And Brown misfires at the buzzer, ending the third quarter. A strong one for the Knicks. They led by 1 at halftime. But now as they get ready for the fourth, a 13-point lead, 72-59.
Willie. It's go time.
Hey. That creepy mouse with the goggles is back in my apartment. Really? Can I hang here?
Absolutely. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. I used to be a car racer.
Oh, wow.
Your days of pushing me around are through. I got a better offer and I'm grabbing it. They even offered me a bonus. Can you even say that? Bonus. Bonus. Knock, knock. Who's there? A bonus.
Expect more from your credit card. Introducing Discover Platinum. With a new low rate and a cashback bonus award, it pays to discover Platinum.
Hello, bonus. Speaking.
What's your idea of the perfect minivan? Is it the most luxurious? One with a leather-trimmed interior and dual-zone temperature control? Or is it America's lowest-priced minivan? Now with a low lease of only $239 a month. That still includes features like easy-out roller seats. There's only one place to choose from the complete selection of award-winning minivans. Your Chrysler and Plymouth dealer. Now get $1,000 cash allowance or 1.9% APR on Chrysler and Plymouth minivans.
Digital rocks at the Wiz Digital Presidential Sale. All the latest technology and digital entertainment is yours for the taking. Right here, right now. Get digital at the Wiz.
New York Knicks basketball is brought to you in part by The Wiz, your ticket to home entertainment. By Payne Weber. Thank you, Payne Weber, for the advice. And by The Dive, the bank that's with you all the way.
Charles Oakley's return to Madison Square Garden rekindling memories of October 1977, where after 10 outstanding years, Walt Clyde Frazier returned to the Garden. It's our Coke Classic play. Frazier, only 2 weeks after the deal, came to Madison Square Garden and in overtime gave the Cavaliers a 6-point lead with a 3-point play. Then the classic steal by Clyde. When the game was over, the Cavs won by 5. He had an emotional display after 44 minutes, 28 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 5 steals. And guys, I guess if Babe Ruth, Joe Namath, Tom Seaver, and Walt Frazier can be traded, nobody is safe.
Good point, Al. And Clyde, we've talked about that night quite a bit this evening. Any interesting things from your former teammates, the Knicks, that night that said to you that sticks out in your head?
No, they told me to go back to Cleveland.
Larry Johnson is fouled. 2 shots.
Only the fans were nice to me that night, Mike.
John Wallace picking up his first. I tell you what, that's some uniform. Great game.
Yeah, I was so delighted when that was over, man. It was very stressful because once I was traded, I had to come back within 2 weeks. And I wasn't ready for that emotional lift, so I was so happy when that game was over and that we won the game.
Johnson now 5 of 6 from the line. Knicks lead back up to 15, equaling their largest of the game.
Actually, what happens, Mike, your best friends on the team, like Earl Monroe and guys, Butch Beard would come over and tease me, but the other guys, Mr. Haywood and McAdoo, really didn't say anything to me.
Everybody deals with it differently. As Allen Houston called for the foul, that's his first team foul. Again, here's where the Knicks in a little danger. Shouldn't say danger when you're up by 15, but this is where they've kind of relaxed a little bit and let teams get back into it. Childs with a foul, and again, that's 2 quick team fouls in 32 seconds or 38 seconds.
Player 40 feet on the perimeter, if Childs creating the foul, not the prudent thing to do.
Reggie Slater, John Thomas, D. Brown, John Wallace, and Vince Carter in the game right now for the Raptors.
Now you see this young players out there trying to propel them back into the game.
Oakley's on the bench. Willis is back in the locker room. He was ejected for a flagrant 2 foul in the 3rd quarter. Reggie Slater, little jump hook, gets the roll.
Good manipulation by Slater, protecting the ball with his body, shooting the baby hook shot.
13-point Knick lead, just over a minute gone by here in the 4th. Knicks looking for their 4th win in a row. They've had 4 players score in double figures.
Oh.
Ball knocked away. Allen Houston and Carter comes away with it. D. Brown, nice fast down low to Slater, and a hard foul. Houston and Dudley both converging. Houston committed the foul first, so they'll give it to him, and that'll be his 2nd. Dudley with a block, but Houston the foul right prior to that.
The play was made by Carter by getting the ball. Watch the steal by Carter. See, now he's on the perimeter. What you want to do is get the ball to the middle of the court. Once he did that, that'll open up the transition on the right side. So always, in order to have a fast break, you want the ball in the center of the court to make the defense react.
Slater hitting the first. 2nd one good as well. 11-point Knick lead. Still plenty of time. It's just 90 seconds into the 4th quarter. Ward and Childs on the court at the same time. Houston sitting down. Camby, Dudley, and Johnson out there for the Knicks.
Knicks looking sluggish on the offense.
Johnson feed to Camby, lost it, got it back, blocked from behind by Carter. His 2nd block of the game. Brown quickly ahead. Carter slips momentarily, gets it back, and a foul as Marcus Camby whacks him. So Carter will shoot 2.
Carter very impressive in his Garden debut. Previously the steal and then the block shot.
Just a few moments ago, as Charles Oakley on the bench having a little fun with Marcus Camby, holding on to his shorts. Camby not checking to see who it was doing it. Another free throw good. This time from Carter.
See, that's why we wore short shorts, Mike, because in the old days, guys would hold those shorts. So can you imagine with these things on, going over pick and roll, guys pulling on them?
Oh, absolutely. I can't imagine how they can hold those old ones. It was so short, tight. 6-0 run now, and just as we're talking about the Knicks letting a team back into it, Raptors only down 9.
And again, Carter the catalyst.
Camby against Slater. Turnaround shot, high arced, no good. Dudley got pushed by Thomas, wanted a foul call, yelling at Gary Benson as he runs up the floor. D. Brown, pretty pass inside to Carter, blocked with a foul.
Mike and I were talking about the lack of point guards on this team. Brown doing a good job now of orchestrating.
And the Knicks already 5 team fouls here in the 4th. Their lead sliced to 9.
Jeep Cherokee can climb a 30% grade. Laugh at an 80% chance of snow. Give you 100% freedom. And do it all for 10% less than the competition. Lease Cherokee Sport for 0 down, $289 a month, and $784 due at signing. Get all this at no extra charge.
Can you put a price on love?
You betcha! If the object of your affection is a McDonald's Big Mac, just $1.22 for the one-of-a-kind 2 all-beef patty taste that makes you swoon. Or if you're a two-timer, get cozy with 2 Big Mac sandwiches for only $2.22. But hurry, your love may be eternal, but these prices aren't.
Where does one find such love?
Did somebody say McDonald's?
I've known this guy 5 minutes. He's already giving me investment advice.
For a recommendation on your portfolio, please press 3.
I'm gonna pay for this.
What was I
Should
thinking?
my 401k be all stock?
Should my 401k be all cash?
Why didn't they write this last month?
My portfolio should be overweighted in game companies.
Why does this guy think what works for him? It's gonna work for me.
Thank you, Painweber.
Deb Kaufman with an update of the Milwaukee and 76er game. The Bucks were down 1 with time running out, and the 76ers forgot about Glenn Robinson. Well, Ray Allen saw him, and Robinson sinks the game winner, 93-92. Milwaukee steals one. Mike and Clyde, back to you.
All right, Deb. George Karl doing a good job for the Milwaukee Bucks. He seems to be enjoying himself. He's never felt appreciated in Seattle, and now he's got the Bucks turned around nicely. Meanwhile, Jeff Van Gundy does not like the turnaround here in the start of the fourth. Vince Carter, the rookie from North Carolina, 12 points and a chance to add to that with 2 free throws as Larry Johnson has picked up his 4th foul.
Carter's shown a lot of versatility in the game, creating havoc on the defense and also very efficient on the offense.
Carter was a first-round pick of Golden State and then actually traded to Toronto for Antoine Jamison, his teammate at North Carolina. He was the 5th overall selection. At 6'6", 225, terrific athlete, and he's got some nice moves. If he develops a perimeter shot, he can be extremely dangerous. The lead, meanwhile, has been cut to 8.
Knicks opening up the court, looking for Ewing.
Ewing underneath. Camby with a tip, won't go. Camby on the follow. Marcus Camby with a strong second effort. 11 points, 11 boards for Camby.
Camby not known for his hustle and muscles, displaying some tonight.
Slater underneath, and Reggie Slater answers back. Childs trying to find Ewing. Ewing calling for it. Ewing just 2 of 9 from the field.
No fluidity in his game.
And he's fouled by John Thomas.
Only the 2nd foul on the Raptors, so the Knicks will have it.
They'll call it in the act of shooting, so Camby will sit down. 11 points and 11 rebounds for Marcus Camby.
Camby omnipotent on this play. 6'11", goes up with gusto.
And he also has a block shot. Nice ovation from the crowd. There's no question he wants to prove himself as well against his former team.
And you like to see that in a player. Everyone has pride, and Camby displaying it tonight.
Last 3 games, very impressive from Camby as Ewing hits the free throw. 1 of 2 again. Ewing just 6 points. 2 of 4 from the free throw line. Nick lead is 9.
Patrick not in the floor of the game. He's standing flat-footed trying to shoot his shots. Has to get the ball on the move.
Just over 3 minutes gone by. Slater trying to drive against Kurt Thomas. And a travel.
Yeah, good help by Ewing coming over to force the turnover.
But Ewing, even though the points are low at 6, he's not really forcing the action. He's letting his teammates do it. Even Charlie Ward mentioned that he felt the other day that Ewing is showing that he has a lot more confidence in his teammates to hit the shot when he's double teamed.
See, now getting out for Houston.
Houston in and out. And the Raptors come the other way. 77-68. Knicks lead by 9. D. Brown, 3-pointer. Ewing trying for the rebound. Comes down with it in traffic.
This is where you want him to really assert himself on the defense.
Knicks leading the rebounding department tonight, 33-28. Good hands from D. Brown, but it winds up in the hands of Allen Houston, who puts it in. Allen Houston now with 16 points, and the Knicks lead back to 11.
The Knicks are in the penalty, so the Raptors should look to get the ball inside. That's why they're featuring Slater. He's been trying to get into the paint area.
Houston was 1 of 6, by the way, in the first half, 5 of 7 in the second half. John Thomas left open, and the former Knick draft pick puts it in.
And that's how you exploit the double teams. And then when you're going to double team, don't allow them to see you coming. That time they had a good look at the Knicks coming to double team. Thomas uncontested.
Knicks will not set a record by 3 straight games of holding opponents under 70 as the Raptors reach that mark. Houston misfires. 79-70, Knicks in front, but the Raptors hanging around. Wallace underneath. Nice move inside from John Wallace, and it's a 7-point game.
Good look by D. Brown telling Wallace to post up Houston.
For the second straight day, the Knicks build a big lead and see another team come back. Ward, poor passes, Brown deflects it. Carter on the lean in.
Not a good shot. He had Ward. Carter should have taken his time and posted him inside.
Although Ward did a good job after Carter shot it, boxing him out, and Carter couldn't get near the board, enabling Allen Houston to grab hold. Childs on a penetration, throws it out of bounds. And the Knicks now for the game with 12 turnovers and a timeout on the floor. What was once a 15-point lead has been whittled down to 7 with 6:38 remaining in the fourth.
The Knicks head for Cleveland to battle the Cavs after MCS Cannon game night, Thursday on MSG.
A nation of evil lives among us, and only one can save us. It's open season on all Night Stalkers. Wesley Snipes, Stephen Dorff, Blade.
This month on DirecTV.
Kevin?
Mom?
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Introducing FD Trinitron Vega, flat screen TV from Sony. Our best Trinitron picture ever.
Welcome everyone, and welcome back to NBA basketball. We're excited about it.
Cavs all the way. All the way.
Sensational.
There you go. 1, 2, 3. All right.
I still love the game.
Just over 6.5 to play in the fourth. Knicks leading the Raptors by 7. Our MCS Cannon game summary. Some of the numbers. Shooting percentage is close. Charles Oakley in his return having a pretty good game. Marcus Camby though with a double-double. And Kevin Willis ejected in the third quarter for a flagrant 2 foul when he threw an elbow to the neck of Charlie Ward. 2 were going for a rebound. Christie back in the game.
He's their top gun. Christie has 12 points. But now they're looking for Carter. The Knicks might be legal on the D.
Kurt Thomas called for the illegal defense. And here's the flagrant foul that saw the ejection.
Underneath the right side of your screen. Ooh. Luckily he wears those elbow pads.
And Ward not really hurt. In fact, he was smiling right after as soon as they threw Kevin Willis out of the game.
Because those pads absorbed that lick right into his throat.
That illegal defense first against the Knicks. Lob pass, bad pass from Christie, but Childs could not hold on. 18 remaining on the shot clock, 6:18 left in the fourth.
We've seen some ghastly passes in this game. Previously, Charles threw it away right into the bench of the Raptors. If Christie gets lucky here, they have a second opportunity.
So the Knicks shooting poorly here in the fourth. Carter and Childs with the foul. Boy, Vince Carter, very impressive. He's difficult to defend one-on-one.
Uncanny leaping ability. He really bounds quickly off his feet.
And Childs with his third foul. Carter back to the line where he's 3 for 4. 13 total points. That leads the Raptors tonight.
Carter averaging 12 on the season. 50% shooter from the field and second in free throws attempted this season for the Raptors.
His career at North Carolina, a 70% free throw shooter, but he's someone that's going to get fouled a lot. You can tell by his game, and he gets his free throw shooting up a little bit more. Certainly will help.
You see he has a good touch when you can see the rotation on the ball. Takes his time. Nice release.
6 straight points now by the Raptors, and this is the closest Toronto's been since early in the third.
Ewing in the doldrums. Houston provided some offense for the Knicks.
That shot will not count. Foul beforehand. Go against the Raptors. Still not over the limit. John Thomas called for the personal, and that's his first. Larry Johnson back in. Childs will sit down. 14 fouls. Check that, 3 team fouls on the Raptors. Kurt Thomas back in. John Thomas with the deflection. Still Knick ball, 17 on the shot clock. Charles Oakley remains on the bench where he's been the entire fourth quarter. The Raptors coming back. Butch Carter giving his younger guys a look.
And they're doing their jobs. Got him back into the game. Good aggression on the defense.
Kurt Thomas, call for travel.
Yeah, indecisive, couldn't figure out what he wanted to do. So obvious call by the official.
That's the 12th Knick turnover.
So D. Brown, the orchestrator, he's done a nice job with this team getting the ball to the open man.
5-point Knick lead. Still over 5.5 remaining. Plenty of time here. The Knicks have certainly lost any momentum they had building a 15-point lead.
And this guy has gained his momentum.
Carter, tough move underneath. Won't go as Ewing grabs the rebound. Almost a sensational play.
He has a couple of those tonight.
Houston nearly knocked away. Knicks again standing around on offense. Ewing, fall away shot, puts it in. Patrick Ewing, just his third field goal, but a big one, and the Knicks back up by 7. Christie now looking to take Allen Houston. A foul is called on Houston, and Christie will now shoot 2.
See the Knicks giving up the baseline. Previously Carter went along there. He missed the layup. This time Christie able to draw the foul. So you got to take that baseline away and force them into the paint area. Ewing struggling all evening. Has not found his rhythm, but a good shot this time as he swishes the nets.
Christie nailing the first. And of course, again, following Knicks basketball tonight, after the postgame show as Oakley comes back in, we'll have National Finance Sports Desk. Lots going on from baseball with Derek Jeter and Tim McCarver, and of course the NBA story. Ed Kaufman told you about Milwaukee's win at Philadelphia. A lot of other games as well. Nets playing tonight at home against Detroit.
Much is made about Ewing and his scoring. To me, it's not how much he scores, it's when he scores. And that time the Knicks were in dire need of a hoop, and Patrick delivered.
81-76. Knicks lead by 5. Ewing underneath, and he's fouled by Carter. No other defense to do but grab his arm. And Ewing will shoot 2 free throws.
This is when you want Ewing to assert himself down the stretch. Against this team, Willis in the locker room, no one can really guard Ewing on this team. Oakley, the tallest player on the court at 6'9".
See Oakley giving some advice to Carter there. There's the free throw shooting tonight. Good by the Raptors. Once again, poor by the Knicks as Ewing knocks down the first.
And Ewing will be maligned, Mike, if he never wins a title because the expectations are so high. But I think he's had obviously an outstanding career among leaders in scoring and block shots and rebounds. So many times I think his criticism is unfair against Patrick.
Ewing hits both, now with 10. 6 Knicks in double figures. There are a lot of great players in all kinds of pro sports who have never won a title.
But here in the Mecca, it's very difficult.
Christie, tough fall away shot. Ewing the rebound. 83-76, Knicks by 7.
Ewing revitalized now. This is when they should look for him.
And a foul called on Oakley.
And the Raptors will pay as they are in the penalty, so Houston goes to the line.
4th foul on Oakley. Allen Houston, 2 of 2 from the line tonight, 16 points. All 5 Knicks starters in double figures plus Camby, and the Raptors will call timeout. It's been a seesaw second half, but with 4:16 remaining in the fourth, a 7-point Knick lead.
You know, we've been together for a while, and I've been thinking. I don't know. I'm missing something from our relationship. I think it's just best if we make a clean break.
Expect more from your credit card. Introducing Discover Platinum. With a new low rate and a cashback bonus award, it pays to discover. Platinum. Call 1-800-DISCOVER.
Check, please. Oh, you'll get this right.
Everybody loves these guys, and everybody loves a chance to pocket a few of them, too.
And through Monday, you can pocket a few thousand of them with 1.929 or 3.9 APR financing on any Camry, Solara, or Corolla in stock. How's that for democratic? This special ends Monday, so get going. This President's Day weekend, you won't find a better way to save.
Hey, would I tell a lie?
Amor, amor, my love. Amor, amor, make life divine. Say you'll be mine and love me only. Amor, amor, amor.
Remember, when you're having good times with good friends, drink responsibly because friends know when to say when. A reminder from your friends at Budweiser. 4:16 remaining in the fourth. Charles Oakley, 11.6 rebounds, and he's always known for his off-the-court wear, not just his Toronto Raptor uniform and the current issue of Vanity Fair. Oakley with some knickers there, Clyde.
Yeah, you better leave those in New York. Can't wear those in Toronto. Unless he wears one of those long fur coats of his.
And Oakley with the new hairstyle. His business agent calls it the twist. With the new hair, he's gone the bald look. A number of different looks as a member of the Knicks as Allen Houston hits the first free throw. So Houston now piling up the points. Houston, again at halftime, was just 1 of 6 from the field, and he only had 4 points. So 14 of his 18 in the second half. Knicks back up by 9.
Slater looking to go against Ewing.
Ewing goes for the fake, and Slater with nobody coming to help.
And nasty stuff by Slater. Ewing gullible that time. He was one-on-one right at the free throw line.
That was a runaway train. That's one thing that Jeff Van Gundy, he doesn't want guys having an open path to the basket, feet inside, and Slater has to foul Ewing. Good penetration by Ward. But that's one of the things that Van Gundy's talked about with team defense. All right, Slater beat Ewing. Let somebody step in, even though that would have been a difficult one to step in on.
They were stepping out like when Wilt Chamberlain used to go to the hoop. Everybody clears out. So good job by Patrick going to the open spot to draw the foul.
Slater's second foul. Ewing 4 of 6 from the line. This is a runaway train.
Watch Ewing should know Slater does not really have a perimeter shot. So that allowed him to manipulate inside.
Although, you know, in that instance, Kurt Thomas, if he stepped in there, he would have been in the restricted area as a help defender, and the foul would have been on him. He could not have picked up a charge by the time he got there.
Thomas has 5 fouls as well.
Ewing hitting both free throws. Knicks lead is 9. Just over 3.5 remaining. Now Slater from the outside. Good boxing out by the Knicks, and Charlie Ward comes away with his 3rd rebound. 87-78. And once again, kind of a quiet Madison Square Garden. Ewing calling for it, now going against the 6'7" Slater. Slater the foul. Ewing will go right back to the line as Slater picks up his 3rd.
Ewing creating havoc now inside, so no one to stop him. So Ewing getting the ball in excellent positioning.
And here's Oakley's defense. Again, we call him a help defender. He's helping pretty much everyone in this sequence.
Yeah, except the right person, because Ewing now is in the paint.
I'm surprised Oakley's not on Ewing at this point as Ewing hits another free throw. Now 7 of 9 from the line.
Oakley starting some antics on the court now. Kicking the ball with his foot.
And Ewing hits 4 straight free throws. Ewing now with 9 of his 14 here in the 4th quarter.
And the Knicks top guns erupting. Ewing and Houston igniting the Knicks.
And Knicks back up by 11, 89-78. Just over 3 minutes remaining. Christie doubled. Slater across the lane. And Ewing blocks but a foul. And Slater will shoot as Patrick Ewing picks up his 3rd.
Slater too elusive for Ewing and too short to deny Ewing on the other end. So both players are very efficient on the offense.
So Slater right back. This is Chris Childs now. This magnet has been making the rounds. We saw Larry Johnson using it on his knee. We saw Patrick Ewing on his wrist, and now Childs.
And I asked the trainer, Mike Saunders, what does that thing do? He says it keeps the circulation going. There's Mike, his second decade with the Knicks, the longest tenure of any trainer for the New York Knicks, replacing my favorite guy, Danny Big Time Whalen.
Mike Saunders has had a wonderful career here in New York. Certainly longest tenure of anyone on the bench, that's for sure.
And counting.
10-point Knick lead. 2:43 remaining. Kurt Thomas steps up, won't hit it. Ewing's tip won't go. Second one falls, and Oakley able to pick up the ball.
The Raptors need to get in the paint to draw fouls. The Knicks in the penalty, they need to take points off the board with the clock stopped.
Oakley finding the open man. Carter kicks it out. Charles Oakley dribbling past Ewing. Pass down low to Carter. D. Brown wide open for three. Won't go. Thomas can't get the rebound. Good move from Christie. Steps back for three. A fall away three-pointer. That's what Christie drives coaches nuts.
That's why he's shooting less than 30%. Well, 37% from the field.
That's a terrible shot. Even though it's late in the game, you still can get a better three than that. And Allen Houston knocks down another one. Houston has really turned it around after a slow start, as he now gives the Knicks a 12-point lead, 20 points for Allen Houston.
And the Garden faithful starting to head for the exits now. They feel this one is under control.
Carter on a pull-up, and again, if he starts hitting that shot, he's going to be tough. Great slasher, great moves to the basket. Needs to be a little consistent on his jumper. 91-81. And a kick ball, so they'll reset to 24. John Thomas will come back in. And substitution Childs will come in.
So the Knicks with the three guards in the game, so they have better fluidity and some ball handlers. The Raptors looking to double team the ball.
We want Herb, the chant, being shouted here. Herb on his 41st birthday.
Herb's telling them to shut up.
Herb hasn't played yet this year.
Yeah, that's why he doesn't want to get in there now.
Ewing underneath, and Patrick Ewing puts it in. Ewing now with 11 points in this fourth quarter, and the Knicks back up by 12. Just like you said, Clyde, it's when he scores.
Yep, he's been big in the paint tonight down the stretch.
16 total for Ewing. And Childs picking up the ball. Final minute here as the Knicks on their verge of their fourth straight win. And Carter called for the foul.
A little frustration by Carter that time. So Childs will be the beneficiary.
Childs will go to the line. Knicks 11 of 12 from the free throw line this quarter.
I think that's indicative, Mike, that they played down or up to the competition. So tonight they kind of played and kind of tantalized the Raptors. Once they got close, the Knicks really became a cohesive unit and spurted off to another 10-point lead.
And Oakley sits down, gets a nice ovation. 11 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. Knicks able to put aside the emotional return of Charles Oakley. Marcus Camby, meanwhile, his first double-double as a Knick. 11 points and 12 boards for Camby. 95-81, lead back up to 14. Good free throw shooting here in the fourth to secure this one. Childs with a silly foul here. .54 remaining.
So we see that number 13 often in the NBA. Supposed to be an unlucky number. Chamberlain liked it. We saw someone last night who was wearing number 13.
Jerome Williams of the Pistons. The "We Want Herb" chants getting louder. Herb not smiling on the bench, getting a little razzing from his teammates. And here comes the smile.
Herb in what, his 18th season?
So Latrell Sprewell getting first taste of the fans' enjoyment of Herb. You're right, his 18th season. 95-83, final minute. Ewing Off the mark, Christie the rebound. Patrick Ewing, one of 6 Knicks in double figures. Again, a good team effort for the Knicks. John Thomas. Carter against Childs. Tough fall away shot, won't go. Rebound knocked out of the hands. Ward touches it last. Raptors ball, 14.7 remaining. And Camby will come back in. Rick Brunson is going to make an appearance, as will Ben Davis. Jeff Van Gundy emptying his bench.
But he will not relent and put in Herb. The crowd wants Herb, but their cheers have been in vain, so Van Gundy will not put in Herb.
I'm sure that's Herb Williams' choice. Van Gundy has so much respect for Herb Williams' accomplishments over his career. And Williams wants to play when it means something, although there'll be times I'm sure he'll come in at the end. Slater. Shot clock is turned off. Slater against Camby. Strip but a foul, reach-in foul with 5.9 remaining. They call it on Ben Davis. Earlier at practice at the shoot-around today, here's a little happy birthday celebration. Herb Williams, such a very popular player, so important in the locker room.
How old is Herb? 41?
41. Lori Hamamoto always making sure the birthdays are celebrated with the cakes for the team. As Slater hits the free throw. And Childs will just dribble it out. Final seconds here at the Garden. And there's the buzzer. Knicks win their 4th in a row. Charles Oakley returns as a Raptor. Finishes with 11 points and 7 rebounds. Not enough. Acknowledges the nice ovation he received, but Patrick Ewing, a big 4th quarter. Marcus Camby, his first double-double as a Knick. 6 Knicks overall in double figures. And after the 0-2 start, the Knicks are now 4-2 as they get ready now for back-to-back road games coming up on Thursday and Friday. Final score from Madison Square Garden, the Knicks 95 and the Raptors 85. Plenty more to come right after this timeout.